from Ray Winder Field in Little Rock. It's the Frisco RoughRiders and the Arkansas Travelers, and we do welcome you tonight to the pregame show as Frisco comes off their first road series victory of the year. They win 3 of 4 from Wichita in surprising fashion last night. It was the bullpen that got it done. But what was surprising is that it was Sam Nairn that comes out of the bullpen. He's been taken from the rotation. He becomes the Texas League's third pitcher to go to 5-0 this season. Sam Nairn right now in the bullpen, and he will obviously be a guy that will be leading the bullpen the next couple of weeks. We'll see the left-hander Eric Sear going against Nick Beerbrot tonight. Couple of lefties on the mound for their respective ball clubs. Sear 4-0 this year. Beerbrot getting his second start for Frisco. Beerbrot 4 1/3 innings in his last start. His ERA now at 4.15 after giving up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 7 hits, striking out 5 and walking 2. Sear, by the way, has been the anchor of this staff, one of the best pitchers in the Texas League with a 170 earned run average. A very tough pitchers matchup tonight. We'll see if the offense can get it going tonight against the Arkansas Travelers. It's game 1 of a 4-game series from Little Rock, Arkansas, a facility that was constructed back in 1932. It's one of the 5th oldest ballparks in the minor leagues, top 5 in terms of oldest ballparks in all of minor league baseball. We just came from an old ballpark in Lawrence Dumont Stadium. That facility was built back in 1935. This facility constructed back in 1932. It's just like stepping back in time, and that's what we will be doing in this series. Stepping back in time, hoping to repeat what the RoughRiders did last year here at Ray Winder, and all kinds of success, and we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. Well, coming up, we'll recap yesterday's ball game for you. If you missed any of the 7-5 victory, we're going to tell you how it all came about next as Riders baseball continues on the ticket.
We're bringing back dead celebrities one toe tag at a time in the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes, brought to you by Central Yamaha in Plano and Central Polaris in McKinney.
I guess I'm dead in the mackerel now.
Listen to Dunham and Miller every morning at 7:35 for a clue to the identity of a dead celeb. Then listen again later in the day for another clue and your chance to guess the stiff. Get it right and you win. Death is inevitable. And so is the spring contest from the ticket. www.theticket.com.
My name's Andy, and I didn't want to admit it at first, but I have a problem.
Go ahead, Andy. We're all here for you.
Hi, Andy. Well, it's like this, Doc. Like I'll be at work, and all of a sudden, it's all I can think about.
Go on.
Like just the other day in a meeting, I thought I heard the roar of the crowd. See, did you guys just hear that?
Hear what, Andy?
Never mind. The sounds aren't the worst of it. 2 days ago, I was at lunch with my boss, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a line drive screaming right at me. So I dove out of my chair, barehanded it, and threw it to first.
What happened then?
Well, I took out 2 old ladies in the table next to me and ruined a brand new suit.
When was the last time you went to a Frisco RoughRiders game?
At least a month ago, Doc.
Andy, you know as well as I do that you can't quit cold.
Yeah, you're right, Doc.
Of course I am. Now, I suggest you buy a 7-game weekend plan today.
I'll never let it happen again, Doc. Thanks.
Riders Jump In 7-game plan still available. Call 972-731-9200 or visit www.ridersbaseball.com today.
Hey, baseball fan person, after a night of slumber dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, Hot Sports Opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam Breakfast of Champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
The setting doesn't matter.
Try taking your wife to a fast food joint on your wedding anniversary and you'll find out that statement isn't true.
I can keep clients happy and sell prospects through email and the telephone.
Maybe, but will they have memories they'll take away forever thanks to your emails and phone calls? Memories are the key to any morale or culture-building event. Memories like cheering on the home team, catching a home run in a packed ballpark, and sharing laughs in a casual yet exciting setting that is a Frisco RoughRiders game. From the Dallas Morning News Corral in the outfield located in Power Alley to group seats surrounding the first-ever bullpen built right into the stands to the best party decks in all of sports. And brand new this year, you could even have a small private party in the covered wagon located above the seats on the third base line. Call 972-731-9200 to reserve your Frisco RoughRiders group outing today. Your key people will thank you, and you'll thank them later when their loyalty and dedication knocks the next big project right out of the park. Call 972-731-9200 today.
You're listening to Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
We continue on 1700 KTBK. The Ticket. Scott Garner back with you at historic Ray Winder Field in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's game number 1 of a 4-game series. Eric Sear on the mound tonight for Arkansas. Left-hander Nick Beerbrod going for Tim Ireland's Frisco RoughRiders. The RoughRiders just 4 games back in the Texas League's East Division after yesterday's big win over the Wichita Wranglers, and Arkansas's big win over Tulsa as they avert the sweep. They help us out a little bit. Frisco now 4 games back in the East, and boy, we've got a log jam at the top. Tulsa and Wichita tying for the top spot, while Arkansas is just a half game back. Frisco 4 games back in the East. A bit of a wider margin in the West with Round Rock leading San Antonio by 3.5 games. Midland 7.5 games back of first place Round Rock, while El Paso continues to struggle as they have now lost 2 straight and 5 of their last 10 ball games. They are now 10.5 games back in the first half in the Western Division. Well, last night it was Frisco getting the big Kelvin Jimenez right arm going as he went 4 2/3, would not pick up a win. That was because Sam Nairn came in and pitched 3 1/3 shutout innings of baseball, giving up just 3 hits. But early in the ball game, Chad Santos, big left-handed batter for Wichita, got a 2-0 pitch, and he hit it the other direction. The guy that likes the ball out over the plate, and that's where Jimenez put it. This is mechanics right now, 2-0. This ball is hit high in the air, deep to left field. Wind's carrying it. Josh McKinley back at the warning track. This thing might go, and it is gone. Chad Santos with a towering opposite field home run. He's got tremendous potential, and he makes it a 1-0 ball game. Chad Santos making it a 1-0 ball game at that particular point, and then a little bit later on in the Wichita 3rd inning, they scored an unearned run. That was after Frisco posted their first lead, getting 2 runs in the top half of inning number 3. So we were tied at 2 at the end of 3. And then the Frisco offense exploding against the starter Brian Bass as Titus Meadows led off with a double. Patrick Boyd followed with an RBI double in the 4th, the first of 2 two-baggers that he had last night. Josh McKinley would strike out. Jeff Smith would walk. And then Jason Bourgeois followed with a big stick. This is what happened with his at-bat. 1-0 pitch, line drive, center field. This is down for a base hit. Boyd around 3rd. He's going to score without a throw. Racing around 2nd. Smith puts on the brakes. Blanco cuts it. Fires to Jim Terrell. Cutting it behind him. The throw to second base. And Smith is back safely diving. He took a hard turn. At the end of 4 frames last night, Frisco was leading it by a 4-2 score. And they thought that they might have opened up such a lead that Wichita would roll over. But they thought wrong. Will Smith led off with a base hit in the 5th inning. That was a single to center. Titus Meadows following with a solid single to left field. Then Patrick Boyd followed with a second double of the ball game. That played at Will Smith to make it a 5-2 contest. And then Jeff Smith, the old veteran, came to the plate for the Frisco RoughRiders. Baseball, but it happened. No balls, 1 strike to Jeff. Here it comes. Line drive up the middle, a base hit. Meadows comes in to score. Boyd around 3rd. Here he comes. Hopper gets to it quickly, but will just lob it back into the middle infield. Meadows scores. Boyd comes in. And the Frisco RoughRiders now have blown this thing open. It is 7-2. Frisco on a 2-run. 7-2 Frisco after that, but then Wichita would answer with 3 runs in the bottom half of inning number 5. It was a D. Brown base hit with 2 outs. They got them all rolling. Then Brandon Berger got a base hit to left field. Jaime Jones followed with a 11-pitch walk. Scott Walter with an RBI single to left field. And then that set up Chad Santos again. He broke at the stick. White Crouch right side. Holds that bat parallel almost on his shoulder like Molitor used to. This pitch by Santos swung on line up the middle of base hit. Pass Booz into right center field. Coming over Will Smith to get it. He's got no option but to toss it back to middle infield as Jones comes around 3rd to score. And Scott Walter plugs into 3rd base. He goes from 1st to 3rd on that single. All of a sudden, we have a 7-5 game. 7-5 ball game at that point, but Sam Nairn came on, and he absolutely shut down the Wichita batting order. Nairn goes 3 1/3 shutout innings, giving up 3 hits, did not strike out a batter, and walked just 1. And Billy Sylvester came on for his 3rd save of the year in the 9th frame, with Frisco leading it by 2. Brandon Berger and Jaime Jones, 2 very tough cogs in that Wichita batting lineup, and Berger grounded out on a 0-2 pitch to 3rd base. Jaime Jones would then end up coming on and striking out. Actually, he grounded out, and then Scott Walter with a double, and with the tying run coming to the plate with 2 outs in the 9th frame, this is what Billy did. From Sam Nairn, here's the pitch on 1-2, and he got him swinging. He struck him out on a breaking ball, and that will end it. Frisco wins at 7-5 last night, and with that win, Frisco moving to 16-21. They'll be taking on an Arkansas squad tonight that is 19-17. 2 games over the 500 mark. Frisco just 4 games back of Tulsa and Wichita here in the Texas League's Eastern Division. A great contest coming up and an absolutely tremendous series we anticipate. Arkansas will be sending 4 lefties against Frisco this series. Frisco going to be countering with a lefty here in this ball game. Cameron Lowe goes tomorrow, and we'll see if Nick Beerbrod can get it done in game number 1. We'll take a break and continue. We're going to speak with Gene Watson, a big scout for the Florida Marlins, who has been following Frisco for the better part of 4 days or so, and he's going to be watching Frisco this series, and he shed some light on what he thought about Kelvin Jimenez last night and what he thinks about a lot of these Frisco Rough Rider ball players. That's all coming up next as Frisco Rough Riders baseball continues on the ticket.
There's a dream that lies in your heart that tells you you're one of a kind. This is your time, just be you. Rise up, be strong. Originality lasts a whole lot long. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality. Dr. Pepper, the lewd individuality. Dr. Pepper, do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper, do what you do, your moment has come. You're not like anyone, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Before I had the procedure, I felt insecure and alone. I never thought all those horrible deposits would cause me so much anguish. I mean, I tried everything. Acupuncture, therapy, spin classes. But nothing could prevent them from getting under my skin. I was about to give up hope until my doctor told me about this new treatment called bankosuction. She said Texans Credit Union had this pain-free procedure that would suck out all those horrible banking experiences in no time. She was right. In just minutes, they'd completely removed all those cold tellers and stubborn loan officers that had plagued me for so long. Now, thanks to Texans Credit Union and their patented bankosuction procedure, I'm feeling more confident, adding a pool, and wearing my old bikini from college.
If you want more from your banking relationship, make the switch to Texans Credit Union. Just stop by or log on to texanscu.org.
The setting doesn't matter.
Try taking your wife to a fast food joint on your wedding anniversary, and you'll find out that statement isn't true.
I can keep clients happy and sell prospects through email and the telephone.
Maybe, but will they have memories they'll take away forever thanks to your emails and phone calls? Memories are the key to any morale or culture-building event. Memories like cheering on the home team, catching a home run in a packed ballpark, and sharing laughs in a casual yet exciting setting that is a Frisco RoughRiders game. From the Dallas Morning News Corral in the outfield located in Power Alley, to group seats surrounding the first-ever bullpen built right into the stands, to the best party decks in all of sports. And brand new this year, you can even have a small private party in the covered wagon located above the seats on the third base line. Call 972-731-9200 to reserve your Frisco RoughRiders group outing today. Your key people will thank you, and you'll thank them later when their loyalty and dedication knocks the next big project right out of the park. Call 972-731-9200 today.
This is Frisco RoughRiders baseball on the ticket, 1700 AM.
The ticket!
The countdown to the first pitch continues as we continue from Little Rock, Arkansas. Ray Winder Field, one of the top 5 oldest facilities in all of minor league baseball. And Gene Watson is here with us today. Gene is a scout for the Florida Marlins, and he's a guy that is from my neck of the woods, over from a town called Temple, Texas. And Gino, when you come here to Ray Winder Field, would you just tell me the feeling that overcomes you?
Well, I just think about the last 9 years I've been covering this league and some of the great players I've seen here. You know, the Adrian Beltres, the Lance Berkmans, and to think about the course of the history of this ballpark over the last 50, 60 years and the great players that have been through this ballpark, it is really a wonderful, wonderful backdrop for a professional baseball game.
Gene, you're with the Florida Marlins right now. You've seen a lot of baseball throughout the years. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these guys on the Frisco RoughRiders roster right now. You saw a guy last night named Kelvin Jimenez, and he's a guy that I know impressed you, 6 feet 178 from the Dominican, from Santo Domingo of the Dominican Republic. Tell me what you thought about him.
Well, he looked outstanding. This is a good, young, strong arm, and he showed the ability to pitch inside with his fastball. He's got a plus fastball. He's got a chance to have a well-above-average slider in the future. And I tell you, he reminded me of Octavio Dutel for a little bit there, and he is really a bright spot for the Rangers' future.
No doubt about it. You've seen some other guys. You've been with us now for a couple of days. Tell us about some of the other guys in the Frisco staff that you've seen. Eric Thompson being one of them.
Eric Thompson, just a gritty young right-hander who came right after hitters the other night in Wichita. Pitches like he's 6'5", and he's really 5'9", and he's just a tremendous young arm that goes out there with a lot of courage, and he's got really good stuff to back it up.
9 innings of shutout baseball for Eric Thompson, just the second complete game in Frisco RoughRiders history. And strangely enough, his roommate, Travis Hughes, is the guy that threw it back on June the 6th of last year through the very first complete game shutout in RoughRiders history. They sent him down from AAA. He's a converted starter now in the Frisco bullpen, and he's a guy that has come on lately. Steve Luber yesterday talking about Travis's ability to just rear back and throw fastballs by hitters. The last time he came on, he pitched against Wichita, and when he slows his motion down, Gene, hitters anticipate a fastball in the mid-80s, and then they get 92, 93, and boy, it becomes difficult at that point.
Yeah, he's a big, strong guy. I always think of those big, strong kids from Nebraska when I see him, because that's what he is. And, he's got the ability to throw the ball by hitters when he wants to.
I don't know if you know this, but Edgar Gonzalez, Frisco's third baseman, has a 13-game hitting streak going right now. And if he gets a base hit tonight, he will have tied Ramon Navarre for the longest hitting streak in RoughRiders history, a history that obviously spans about a year and a half. But Navarre leading the Texas League last year, hitting .347, cranked out a 14-game streak. Obviously, that's somewhat modest by some standards, but still, you hit consecutively in 14 consecutive ball games, and there's something to be said about that.
That and the fact that the Texas League is pretty renowned for its pitching, and the deep pitching that's in this league is a real attribute. And, he's also a real versatile player defensively. He plays a really good third base. He's good at second, and he's an exciting young player.
Frisco coming up here to Arkansas going to be taking on 4 tough left-handers, and one of the left-handers that's going to be pitching for them tonight is a guy by the name of Eric Sear. Sear has undergone some shoulder surgery, came back from that last year. He is from Montreal, by the way. Sear, a left-hander, 6'4", 200 pounds. They claimed him off of waivers from the Reds last year. He went through a tough time. What do you expect to see out of this guy tonight, Gino?
Well, this is a guy that was highly thought of in the Reds organization, and sometimes you're placed on waivers just based on a numbers situation, and if that's the situation for him, this is going to be a good opportunity and a great organization to have a chance to try and rebound and get his career rejuvenated.
Gene, what about Nick Beerbrot? He's going to be throwing tonight for Frisco.
He's a hard-throwing guy. He's a high reputation guy, and once again, it's a chance for him to try and put things back together.
Certainly is. Always nice to come out here to Ray Winder Field. We've seen a lot of different facilities around the Texas League. And throughout the years, a lot of folks don't know this, Gene, but this league is quite old, 116 years old now. This thing started back in the 1800s, and just so many different teams have come and gone throughout the years. Where do you see this league going?
Well, this is one of the greatest leagues. I've covered every league in the minor leagues, and this is one of the greatest leagues going right now. And when you look around, it's great that we have the Round Rocks, and we've got Corpus Christi coming in, and the beautiful ballpark in Frisco. But I think it's important to keep places like this still alive and to stay in minor league cities where you've got ballparks like this, and you sort of keep the rich history of the game involved. And the Texas League obviously is expanding, and it's a great league, and hopefully Arkansas will be a part of it for more years.
What about some of the other teams in the top of the division right now? I know you've seen Round Rock living in that area. You cover guys a lot. I've heard so much about Round Rock this year and the type of speed that they have. They've got some guys who can scoot.
Yeah, these guys, if they don't make it as baseball players, they could make it as Olympic 880 runners, because they can really fly, and they've got a young first baseman named Self, who is more of a Mark Grace style hitter. He sprays the ball around the field, but he's got a little power, and he knows how to adjust and make a solid approach at the plate, and he's a good young player. The kid Tavares in center field is outstanding. He's the spark plug, and he is in some ways similar to Ramon Navarre with Frisco last year in that he energizes that ball club.
We're talking with Gene Watson. He's a scout for the Florida Marlins. And, Gene, tell us about what you have to undergo and what you go through on a daily basis. We were in Wichita for 4 days, and you were there covering the RoughRiders, and now here you are here in Little Rock. What's your situation? What do you have to go through throughout the course of a minor league baseball season?
Well, basically, we're given teams that we're assigned to, and we know in the very beginning of the season who we have to cover, and we can make our own schedules, and it's not quite as difficult as what our free agent scouts go through, not knowing where they're going to be tomorrow, having to go see a junior college or a high school or a college player. Those guys really have it tough. And basically, we know our schedules, and you just base your schedule accordingly. And what can really back you up is if you get a rain out or a fireworks delay like we did on Saturday night. But basically, that's what you do. You follow the teams around for 5 days and try to get a feel for who the better prospects are in the event of a trade.
And you have a grading system, don't you?
We do have a grading system. We grade on a A to O, A being a Hall of Famer, and O being just an organizational guy that can help you in your minor league system.
All right, very good, Gene. Thank you so much, and good luck to you. And we're going to see you the next couple of days. Maybe we'll have a chat with you further on down the road.
Always a pleasure, Scott.
Gene Watson, we'll take a break and continue as Frisco RoughRiders baseball continues on the ticket.
It's the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes.
It's awful cold up here, ma'am.
Listen to Dunham and Miller every morning at 7:35 for a clue to the identity of a dead celeb.
I listen to these guys all the time on 1700, man.
Then listen again later in the day for another clue and your chance to guess the stiff. Get it right and you win.
Oh, this is heaven. It's so very cold up here.
It's the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes. Brought to you by Central Yamaha in Plano and Central Polaris in McKinney on Sports Radio 1310. The Ticket.
The setting doesn't matter.
Try taking your wife to a fast food joint on your wedding anniversary, and you'll find out that statement isn't true.
I can keep clients happy and sell prospects through email and the telephone.
Maybe, but will they have memories they'll take away forever thanks to your emails and phone calls? Memories are the key to any morale or culture-building event. Memories like cheering on the home team, catching a home run in a packed ballpark, and sharing laughs in a casual yet exciting setting that is the Frisco RoughRiders game. From the Dallas Morning News Corral in the outfield located in Power Alley to group seats surrounding the first-ever bullpen built right into the stands to the best party decks in all of sports. And brand new this year, you could even have a small private party in the covered wagon located above the seats on the third base line. Call 972-731-9200 to reserve your Frisco RoughRiders group outing today. Your key people will thank you, and you'll thank them later when their loyalty and dedication knocks the next big project right out of the park. Call 972-731-9200 today.
Hey, baseball fan person. After a night of slumber, dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, hot sports opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo, too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. This is Frisco RoughRiders baseball on The Ticket, 1700 AM, KTBK, Sherman Denison.
We are ready for tonight's national anthem. Let's go ahead and go down onto the field right now. national anthem tonight from Ray Winderfield. Scott Garner back with you, and we are ready for some baseball. First game of a 4-game series. And it's Eric Sear taking on Nick Beerbraun. Here's the lineup today for Frisco. Leading things off, Jason Bourgeois. Bourgeois at second base. Batting second, Drew Meyer. Meyer's the Frisco shortstop. The third position batters, Jason Botts. Botts at first base. Marshall McDougal back in the lineup after a night off yesterday. He's going to be batting cleanup, and McDougal will be at third base tonight. Edgar Gonzalez hits fifth, and Gonzo, the designated hitter, looking for a 14-game hitting streak. And if he gets a hit tonight, he will have that. He will tie Ramon Navarre for the longest hitting streak in club history to this point. Batting sixth, Titus Meadows. Meadows in left field. Batting seventh, Patrick Boyd. Boyd in right after a couple of doubles last night. Rick Asadorian gets another start for Frisco. He's in the lineup. Has it scoring center. Batting ninth, Jeff Smith. And Smith will catch. And this is the lineup for Arkansas. Alberto Calaspo. Calaspo, the designated hitter. Rudy Gomez. Gomez at shortstop. Nick Gorneau hits third. Gorneau in center field. The cleanup batters, Dallas McPherson. McPherson at third base. Jeff Mathis will be catching, and Mathis will be batting fifth. Hitting sixth, Mike Elward. And Elward at first base. The seventh position batters, Carlos Duncan. Duncan in left field. Hitting eighth, Jason Espedo. Espedo in right field. And Justin Turner will be hitting ninth. For Tyrone Boykin, who's exchanging lineups with Frisco's Paul Carey. Paul Carey representing the manager of the Rough Riders, Tim Ireland. All of that taking place right now. The first pitch is coming your way next as Riders baseball continues on the ticket.
Hey, baseball fan person. After a night of slumber, dreaming of Rough Riders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, hot sports opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. This is Frisco Rough Riders Baseball on The Ticket from Mandalay Baseball Properties and Southwest Sports Group.
Well, that's baseball, and it's my game. You know, you take your worries to the park and you leave them there. You yell like crazy for your guys. Good for your lungs. Gives you a lift and nobody calls the cops.
Follow Collin County's home team, the Frisco Rough Riders, all season long, from the first pitch to the final out and every at-bat in between. On 1700 AM, KTBK, The Ticket, a Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket station. This is Frisco Rough Riders Baseball on The Ticket. Now let's head out to the stadium for the voice of the Frisco Rough Riders, Scott Garner.
After the first road series victory of the season, the Frisco Rough Riders facing the Arkansas Travelers for the first time this season, down just 4 games in the Texas League's Eastern Division. From Ray Winderfield in beautiful Little Rock, Arkansas, it's the Frisco Rough Riders and the Arkansas Travelers in game number 1 of this very important 4-game series. We do welcome you to Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm Scott Garner. Brandon Helms is back in the studio tonight, and he's ready to push the buttons back in Dallas. And a 4 1/3 shutout frame by Frisco Rough Riders bullpen last night, allowing Frisco to sneak out of Wichita with a series victory. Sam Naring becoming the winningest pitcher of the Texas League as a result of 3 1/3 shutout frames. He picks up the victory in relief of Kelvin Jimenez. Frisco is now won 6 of 10 and just 4 games back they are of Tulsa and Wichita in the Texas League's Eastern Division. While the Arkansas Travelers helping the Riders out last night, they snapped a season-long losing streak. They beat Tulsa, averting a sweep last night. And that means that Arkansas snaps the streak at 7. Tyrone Boykin and Paul Carey and all the umpires still talking about the ground rules here as the light standards in center and in right center are in fair territory. We are about to play this ball game in a facility that's over 70 years old, a facility built back in 1932. It's the 5th oldest ballpark in the country. And we'll see Beerbraun going tonight for the Rough Riders. Nick 0-1 with a 4.15 earned run average, taking on Eric Sear, who's 4-0 with a 1.70 ERA. Frisco facing Sear and Arkansas facing Nick Beerbraun. Tonight's ball game is being brought to you by, appropriately, Red Stripe. It's beer, red beer, very responsible drinking.
Red Stripe, it's beer. Beer for everyone except stupid people. Hooray, smart people. If you're a smart person, then drink Red Stripe. But if you're stupid, well, no Red Stripe for you, my poor stupid friend. You may ask yourself, am I stupid? Well, as long as you don't do stupid things when you drink, then you're not stupid. Stupid things while drinking include not drinking Red Stripe. Second is singing karaoke when you can't sing. That's stupid and annoying. But driving when you've been drinking, that's the stupidest thing you can do. What about stripping down to your red sash and doing the limbo? So that wasn't stupid. That was magical. Red Stripe. It's beer. Hooray, beer. And hooray, responsible drinking. Red Stripe is imported by Guinness Bass Import Company, Stamford, Connecticut.
We're bringing back dead celebrities one toe tag at a time. In the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes, brought to you by Central Yamaha in Plano and Central Polaris in McKinney.
I guess I'm dead in the mackerel now.
Listen to Dunham and Miller every morning at 7:35 for a clue to the identity of a dead celeb. Then listen again later in the day for another clue and your chance to guess the stiff. Get it right and you win. Death is inevitable. And so is the spring contest from the ticket. www.theticket.com. Dallas Desperados Arena League Football. Indoors, in your face, and this month, indecent. It's the Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket P1 Pajama Party Night this Saturday. Pack your PJs and pick up your $13.10 ticket to the P1 PJ section. Call 972-785-4900 to rub flannel with pajama-clad Giorgio and Grego as they call the game right next to you.
Don't forget pajama-clad.
Then see the feathers fly as Jub Jub takes on Rowdy in a halftime pillow fight. Call 972-785-4900 now. Everyone's wearing pajamas. No birthday suits, please. As the Desperados put the sleeper hold on the Columbus Destroyers this Saturday night. From Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. Frisco RoughRiders Baseball, exclusively on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket!
Back in Little Rock, Arkansas, historic Ray Winder Field is the site tonight for game number one of this very important four-game series. Scott Garner back with you, and let's take a look at the starting lineup tonight again for Tim Ireland and the Frisco RoughRiders. A lot of right-handed hitters in this order for obvious reasons, with the lefty Sear taking the mound. Sear 4-0 this year, having gone 37 innings to this point with a 170 earned run average. He's going to be facing Jason Bourgeois, who leads off at second. Then Drew Meyer will step in there, the Frisco shortstop. Jason Bonds will hit third, and he'll be at first base. The middle three again, Marcel McDougall, Edgar Gonzalez, and Titus Meadows. Bottom three, Patrick Boyd, Rick Azadorian, and Jeff Smith. And that is the order for these guys. But Sear taking the mound once again for the Arkansas Travelers. And so far this year, he has won all four decisions. In his last start, the ball game happened to get rained out. He did not get a decision. They ended up not playing that contest. He has not pitched against the Frisco RoughRiders this year. Again, 37 innings he has tossed against left-handers this year. Lefties are hitting 242 against them. Righties only 202. So lefties have fared a little bit better against this guy. But Sear is a tough customer. Eric, 6'4", 200 pounds from Montreal. He last year pitched here in Arkansas. He's a 25-year-old left-hander, born February the 11th, 1979, 25 years of age, 6'4", 200 pounds, and we will see Sear tonight. And Jason Bourgeois is going to lead us off tonight as the RoughRiders coming off a very long road trip. They come over from the Wichita area, Wichita, Kansas. It took us about 6.5 hours to get here last night. And Bourgeois will lead us off. Here comes the first pitch from Eric Sear as he looks in. The mound is in the sunlight. The home plate area in the shade. There's a band of sun that goes from the third base line and actually runs out toward right field. And the first pitch of the ball game comes inside and low for ball one. Temperature 79 degrees as we get underway. Booge, a 254 batter without a home run, then 11 runs batted in. He's been struggling recently, just 6 for his last 33. Right-handed batter, 5'11", 195, and there's a strike. Outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. The lights have just now been turned on here at historic Ray Winder Field. Capacity of this ballpark, a little over 6,000. Lefty deals a breaking ball, chopped to third base. Coming on, McPherson playing a short hop around his shoe tops, throws wide of first, but somehow Mike Elwood able to keep that foot on the bag. The throw is a little bit high in toward the outfield side of first base. Nicely done. Elwood keeps the spikes aboard, and Booge is gone. So there's out number 1. It takes 3 pitches to dispose of the Frisco leadoff hitter, and now it's Drew Meyer who's been heating up after going on the disabled list for about 7 days. Drew yesterday talking about how that bat speed seems to be picking up. He feels like a completely different hitter than he felt before he went on the disabled list. He's also been plagued by some back problems, and the Frisco left-handed hitting shortstop takes a fastball that is just outside and low for ball 1. They have a 15-foot-high wall that goes all the way around here. A lot of advertisements, and they are big advertisements on this wall. There's a ball ripped at first. One-hop smash to Elwood. Nice play on a forehand stab around his waist. He goes down to a knee to make sure it doesn't go past him. It finds the webbing of his mitt, and he'll run and touch first base, and Meyer is gone. Scored that 3 unassisted on a smash to first. So he's been pulling a lot of baseballs. Drew Meyer has the last 3 or 4 days. And that ball was really hit on a line at first. It was smoked over there to the first baseman, Mike Elwood. I'll give you the defense after this first pitch to big Jason Botts, who will be hitting right-handed for most of this series. And there's a strike call over the outside corner. Arkansas going to be sending 4 lefties to face the RoughRiders in this 4-game set. Count is at no balls and 1 strike to the Paso Robles, California native. And the big switch hitter smashes one shortstop way. It's right at Rudy Gomez, loses some speed as it cuts through this very tall turf here in Arkansas. Right at Gomez, he makes a perfect throw to first base, and that will end the inning. So Frisco going down quietly in the top half of inning number 1. And at the conclusion of 1 half inning, it's the Frisco RoughRiders nothing, and Tyrone Boykins, Arkansas Travelers, sitting for the first time next as we continue on 1700 KTBK, the ticket.
The RoughRiders aren't the only ones hitting a home run in Frisco. You can, too. Call the RoughRiders' new team dentist, 6-Day Dental and Orthodontics. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, for your convenience. 6-Day Dental and Orthodontics provides complete overall dental care for the entire family. All in one office, always on time. Schedule your family's checkups and your free teeth whitening. 214-619-6-DAY. Or go to 6daydental.com. Hit a home run and give 6-Day Dental and Orthodontics a call today.
There's so much to buy, sell, lease, or find in the Dallas Morning News Classified. Call 214-745-8123. Call 214-745-8123. Call 214-745-8123.
Looking to get rid of stuff you're not using? Turn your couches and computers into cash. The Dallas Morning News Classified Center is the best place to go for buying or selling. The Super Saver Special gives you a 3-line ad for 3 days for just $12. Your ad appears both in the paper and at DallasNews.com. Some restrictions apply. The Dallas Morning News Classified Center is the best place to go for buying or selling. Call today at 214-745-8123.
You're tuned to RoughRiders Baseball on the ticket. 1700 AM.
Back at Little Rock, Arkansas, Scott Garner back with you. Ray Winder Field. And we will go to the Arkansas Traveler lineup. We'll have Alberto Calaspo leading things off, the switch hitter. Rudy Gomez, the right-handed hitting shortstop, will step in there second, the 29-year-old from Miami. And then Nick Gorneau. Gorneau with this ball club last year. Calaspo was not, and he will step in. The Venezuelan native, 5'10", 173, switch hitter. And he likes to wear those pants all the way down to the bottoms of the heel. We will see Nick Beerbrod go to the Frisco RoughRiders for the second consecutive time. Beerbrod 0-1 this year with a 4.15 earned run average. Beerbrod pitching against Midland and got a loss back on May the 13th. Pitching on the regular 4 days rest. There's a pitch that is off the plate for a ball. Ball 1 ball, no strikes. Alberto Calaspo, a 302 batter this year, 1 for 5 last night. Swings and hits one well toward left center. Long run for Rick Azadorian. Meadows going back too, and it's Rick Azadorian that runs it down, making the one-hand stab. About 20 feet shy of the warning track at the deepest part of the ballpark in left center field. Well, Azadorian was playing toward right center against the slash and dasher, and Calaspo is out on a 1-0 pitch. Now here's Rudy Gomez. If you've never been to Ray Winder Field, we should tell you that it's 345 down the right field line, and it actually angles in, which means it will come in to about, 340, 335 in the deepest part of right center, and then will jut out very quickly. It's like a straight line that aligns the highway right behind the right field wall. Rudy Gomez takes a 1-0 pitch that is low, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Now 2 balls and no strikes to the Miami, Florida native, a guy that played at the University of Miami, enjoyed his time there. Graduated in 1996. Pitches popped up off the fist, spinning foul toward the right side, and Jason Botts doesn't run out of room, but runs off of the warning track, and that is out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Gomez. A .260 batter, 3 for 5 in last night's ball game. Scored a run with a stolen base. Had a chance to catch up with Rudy earlier. Said his swings pretty much stayed the same since he graduated from Miami. Said in all of the years he's played pro ball, this being the 8th, his stance has virtually stayed the same. Boy, he's got the low hand, and he takes a pitch on the inside corner. It's a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the right-hand hitting shortstop. No homers and 7 runs batted in for Rudy. Just 4 for 18 in the last Tulsa series. Stands away from the plate. They'll pitch him in, and it's a slider on his hands, and he's laid on it, fouling it over the right side and over the first base dugout. Not very much foul territory at all. This is a hitter's ballpark. 345 down the right field line, 390 toward left center, and 330 down the left field line. Deepest part of the ballpark toward the KATV big billboard out in left center. Here's the pitch. Off his fist, he pumps one up in the center field. This should be easy for Rick Asadorian. He comes in a few steps. He's under it, makes the 2-hand grab, and there are 2 down. So Beerbaud getting a couple of pops. Rick Asadorian out in center field to open up the ball game. And now here's Nick Gorno, Springfield, Massachusetts. Center fielder, 6'3", 200 pounds. This guy's a big prospect. He's off to a great start this year. Over his last 24 games, he's hit .370 collectively against the league this year, batting .328. Right-handed batter, swing, smashes one third base play. Oh, high hop for McDougal. He's got it around his kneecaps, throws across, and it's in time. McDougal sort of looking away from that baseball as it found his mitt. He had to guess where that thing was going to come up on him, and he guessed right. And Gorno is retired 5-3 to end the first frame. So Nick Beerbaud sending down the number 1, number 2, and number 3. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to the second. We've got a scoreless tie on our hands, and we're in Little Rock, Arkansas tonight for game number 1 of this 4-game series. Be back with inning number 2 next on the ticket.
Well, here we are at the Dallas North Tollway, and what a beautiful day it is for a drive. Coming up to the toll plaza now is a red pickup, and yes, he breezes right through thanks to that handy toll tag. What a beautiful play. Next up is a green sedan. He's approaching the toll booth. Looks like he's digging in his pockets for change. He's counting the change, and oh no, he's going for the wallet. What a setback. And boy, those cars waiting in the lineup are unhappy. In the meantime, here comes a blue SUV, and another perfect play. Boy, that toll tag really makes a difference. It saves money, it saves time, and it's so easy to get one. Back to that sedan. Oh, my, he's handing a $20 bill to the attendant. He gets his change, the light turns green, and he creeps through, while the toll tag scores 3 easy runs.
What are you waiting for? Call 972-991-0033 or visit ntta.org today and get a toll tag.
If you want to indulge your passion for planting, or if you just want to add a little color, you can. And the Home Depot can help. With more healthy, locally grown plants and flowers than anyone, all backed by our 1-year plant guarantee. And only the Home Depot has certified nursery consultants in every store, so you'll know how, when, and where to plant. And you'll always get the guaranteed low price every day. If you want to move living outside, you can. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
You're listening to Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on the ticket, 1700 AM.
Scoreless tie as we head to the top half of inning number 2. Marshall McDougal stepping in from the right side, ready to take his Hags. He did not play in yesterday's ball game against Wichita that saw Frisco win 7-5. Taking 3 of 4 from the Wranglers, and the first pitch from the left-hander Eric Sear, one of the top pitchers in the Texas League, and it is in tied for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. We'll give you the defense for Arkansas after this pitch. They'll try to bust him in, and that pitch is just off the plate. It's 2-0. They're really pitching Marshall in to open up his at-bat. Carlos Duncan in left field. Nick Gorno, the young center fielder, patrolling the area straight away. Jason Espedo is in right, his first double-A action. 2-0 pitch to McDougal, and Sear brings on a fastball. It's ripped down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul as it one-hops the Del Monte sign about 20 feet to the left of the chalk down into the corner. McDougal anticipating fastball in. They're trying to bust him in, apparently. And he got those hands working, but Sear put it at a spot in his zone where if he was going to hit it hard, he was going to pull it foul, and that's what he did. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Dallas McPherson, the well-advertised third baseman is getting a start. Change up, pulled to McPherson. Third base plate, 2 shuffles to his left. He looks it all the way into his mitt, knee-high. Will fire it sidearm, corner to corner. And McDougal is out number 1 here in the second frame. So Eric Sear, who comes in one of the best pitchers in the Texas League, has sat down the top 4 hitters in the order, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here comes the hottest Rough Rider of them all. It's Edgar Gonzalez. Gonzalez bringing a 13-game hitting streak into tonight's ball game. And if he gets one more hit, he will tie Ramon Navarre for the longest hitting streak in club history. And there's a fastball inside. Boy, Sear not afraid to pitch on his glove side of the plate. That is for certain. He is not a guy that will back down from any battle, even though he's coming off of arm surgery. His 2003 campaign was the first season after the shoulder surgery. And there's a pitch that is down for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gonzalez. McPherson at third, Rudy Gomez at shortstop, Justin Turner at second, Mike Elwood at first base. Here comes the 1-1 to Edgar, right-handed batter, and the left-hander brings a fastball. It tails off the plate, and Edgar's now ahead in the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Titus Meadows, who had a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game, lurks on deck, and that on-deck circle about 15 feet from home plate. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Gonzalez takes a home run hack at a knee-high fastball that was running away from him, and in fact, he swung underneath it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzo has the batting average up to .313 right now with no home runs and 12 runs batted in. He's been hitting the pitch away very well. They go away from him here, but he missed his spot. That fastball was on his trademark, and he fouls it away. It jammed him a bit as it's 10 rows back here at Ray Winder. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Down will hold to Gonzalez. 25-year-old Chula Vista, California native, 5'11", 183. Frisco beginning today, just 4 games back of Tulsa and Wichita for the first-place reigns in the Texas League's Eastern Division. Here comes the 2-2. Right down the pipe, and he struck him out. He blew him down with a fastball. He just reared back and said, I'm tired of messing with you, and Gonzalez goes down swinging. First strikeout of the ball game for Eric Sear, the 38th of 2004 in 38 2/3 innings. So with 2 outs, here's Titus Meadows. Meadows, a guy that had 17 home runs for the Wichita Wranglers last year. He was Rule 5 in the AAA portion of the Rule 5 draft in December, and he has been plagued with a litany of injuries over the course of the last 2 seasons. And he takes strike 1 outside corner, knee-high. Bat parallel with the ground. He's awaiting. This ball's driven toward right center field and hit well. Nick Gorneau goes back. This ball's got a chance to get out of here, and it is goodbye. Halfway up the screen in right center, a line drive shot that got out of here very, very quickly, and Meadows has his second dinger for the Frisco Rough Riders. He had 17 last year, now 19 over the last year and a half, as Meadows puts a right spike on home plate to give the Frisco Rough Riders a 1-0 lead. Meadows hitting that pitch where it was pitched, out over the plate, and that's the first ball he's driven up the middle of the other way since coming off the disabled list just recently, as he has been plagued by a hamstring injury. He was on the shelf for 4 weeks earlier, and Meadows getting a fastball out over the plate has given Frisco the early edge at 1-0. And Rough Rider fans know that when Frisco has the early lead, they have been successful this year. When Frisco has scored first, they are 8-5. When opponents score first, the Rough Riders 8-16. As Patrick Boyd takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. It's a very short porch in right center, a 15-foot high wall all the way around. And from left center to right center, there is also a supportive chain link fence that is probably 40 feet in the air. This ball's hit well to center field, backtracking Gorneau in a back pedal. He's camped now. It's going to stay in the ballpark, and he'll make the 2-handed grab 20 feet shy of the gray outfield warning track here at Ray Winder Field. So a Titus Meadows solo shot getting Frisco on the board. Sear faces 1 over the minimum, but that one, a big blast by Titus Meadows, his second for the Rough Riders this season. Good to have Titus back in the lineup tonight. 1-0. We head to the bottom half of inning number 2 on the ticket.
Hey, baseball fan person, after a night of slumber dreaming of Rough Riders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is hot sports opinions and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo, too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
Sacrifice is what I do. Well, it's give and take, so I try something new. I do what I gotta do. I gave up those other diets and I switched to you. Never thought I'd see the day when I'd find a diet soda with a great taste too. I sacrificed a lot, but there's one thing I won't do. I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. I will sacrifice taste to taste more like regular Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Can't sacrifice taste is what life's all about. Taste the one thing I won't go without. I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. I will sacrifice taste to taste more like regular Dr. Pepper. I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. I will sacrifice taste to taste more like regular Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
This is Frisco RoughRiders baseball on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
Ticket.
Left-hander Dick Gorno has a one-run lead with which to work as we head to the bottom half of inning number 2. Scott Garner back with you at historic Ray Winder Field, a facility constructed back in 1932. A facility that sees another ball going to the big chain-link fence, the supported chain-link wall, as they refer to it, here in Little Rock, Arkansas, with a Titus Meadows opposite field shot, a solo with 2 outs. He hit an 0-1 pitch, a fastball that was ripped. It was sort of a Dean Palmer-like swing. For all of you Ranger fans out there, remember how Dino used to shoot those things toward right center field? It looked like a Meadows shot right there, a Meadows/Palmer type swing. Dallas McPherson leads off. He takes a first pitch strike, and this ball is outside. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike to McPherson from Andelman, North Carolina. Here's the pitch. Oh, good breaking ball. Waved at and missed. That ball stayed down, and the hard-throwing southpaw for the RoughRiders blows it by him. Well, that was a good bite to it. McPherson hitting .298 this year. He's got 4 home runs. These guys have been distributing the home runs pretty equally. There's not one guy with all of them. And most everybody has at least 2 or 3, sometimes 4 and 5 in this lineup. This ball is down for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the rock and the pitch by Beerbroad. Comes home with a curveball, and McPherson cuts through it and misses. First strikeout of the night for Nick. That's strikeout number 6 in a RoughRiders uniform this year. Back goes McPherson to the dugout. That's just his second appearance of 2004, and that was a good pitch over the inside corner. Beerbroad, by the way, turned 26 just this Sunday. Just over a year of major league experience. Guy that was with the Boston Red Sox. And the Red Sox decided to send him down to AAA. There's a line drive toward left field. A one-hop smash into left. It stays in front of Meadows over there. And as soon as it hits the turf, it sort of just stops. Meadows got to come in a few steps to pick it up. But Mathis with a base hit on the first pitch that he sees. Facing Nick Beerbroad. It was an extended spring training before he came over here. Strangely enough, though, he got 1 extended start, went 5 innings, gave up a run, and then pitched against the Midland Rockhounds 5 days ago for the Frisco RoughRiders back on the 13th, went 4 1/3, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 7 hits. He struck out 5 and walked 2. So he came in 0-1 with a .415 earned run average, looking for his first AA victory this year. This pitch is inside and too tight. Then Mike Elward. First year of AA action here in the Texas League at first baseman, 24 years of age. He's off to a really good start in 73 at-bats. He has 25 hits, so his batting average is at .342. He does have 2 home runs with 16 runs batted in. Here's the pitch by Beerbroad. Brings home a changeup, and it is swung on and missed. Good pitch by Nick. He kept it below the knees. Elward swinging at a ball. That was out of the strike zone, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Briscoe leaked this thing 1-0 on a Titus Meadows opposite field blast to right center. It happened in the top half of this inning. We play here in the second. Jeff Mathis at first base with a 1-out single. Mike Elward, the very next hitter, looking at a 1 ball and 1 strike count. Beerbroad used to be a power guy. Now he's more of a smooth thrower. This ball is hit well toward left field in the air. Titus Meadows going back toward the corner, down the left field line. A towering fly ball, and he's finally over there. He wanders toward the corner and makes the catch as he was drifting toward the line, and there's 2 outs. Elwood is gone. And here's Carlos Duncan, the Dominican. And Duncan, a guy with some pretty good power. He can run, he can throw. But last year, he had a difficult time putting it together. His confidence was a little bit down last year. That has been bolstered in 2004. Duncan, a 26-year-old, 6'1", 207 pounds. Hitting .286 for Tyrone Boykin's club. They broke a 7-game losing streak last night and helping Frisco pull to within 4 games in the East. That Arkansas win over Tulsa kept Tulsa at bay and allowed Frisco to move from 5 back to 4 back, winning their 16th game of the year. Frisco still 5 games back of the 500 mark, and Jeff Smith, the Rough Rider catcher, will tell you that it's really tough to look at standings when you're below 500, but as tight as this race is, a lot of the players can't help but look at those standings. And there's a strike over the outside corner to Carlos Duncan. Beerbrod starts him off with a fastball knee high. But if you talk to Tim Ireland, he will tell you that right now he's not all that concerned with the standings. He just wants to keep his squad consistent as they have been. He's letting his starters go back out there. There's a pitch that is on the inside edge for a strike. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. Bill Beerbrod spots a good fastball, and now the count is at 1 ball. And taking no balls and 2 strikes to Duncan. Duncan, .286, a home run, 7 runs batted in, hitless last night in 5 official trips. Right-handed batter. Arkansas has the home whites on tonight. Smith sets up away in the throw to first base. Back in time is Jeff Mathis. No balls, 2 strikes. It's 1-0 Frisco. Each team with a hit tonight. Nick Beerbrod on the mound for Frisco, a guy that is changing some mechanical things right now. One of the reasons why he's down here at AA. Steve Luber really working toward getting him back to the big leagues. The Rangers feel as though they can use him. Lefty delivers a changeup that stays above the letters for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buck Showalter talking about Beerbrod a couple of weeks ago. Showalter, the manager for the Texas Rangers, and he's pretty pleased with this guy. One of the reasons why they kept him with the club for about 4 weeks before they decided to option him down there to extended spring. He got 1 start, and now he's with Frisco. There's a good slider down and inside, and this guy's got good major league stuff. Gene Watson, the Florida Marlins scout before the ball game, talking about Beerbrod and the type of stuff that he possesses. It seems as though, talking to scouts, that Beerbrod's fastball is above average. His curveball has been very, very good, and I am very impressed with his changeup that he takes out there. He throws a circle changeup, and he's got a high set here, runner at first and 2 outs now, and he's going to check on Mathis over there, who does not have a stolen base. Mathis, a slow catcher, and he's at first base, but Beerbrod's going to check on him anyway. He's back without a tag. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes in a 1-0 game. 79 beautiful degrees here in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's the Frisco Rough Riders and the Arkansas Travelers in the first game of a 4-game set. Smith sets up away, and Duncan chases that ball, but just barely gets a piece of it, tapping it with the end of the bat back to the screen. That ball was darting away from him. Now is that circle changeup that will act as a screwball and break down and away from right-handed hitters. Tyrone Boykin before the ball game tonight talking about the Eric Sears screwball that he's got. He's got a vast array of different off-speed pitches. Won't use the screwball quite as much as Beerbrod will tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's a slider that's tapped foul at home plate and will carry him down past Tyrone Boykin. A fan misses it down toward the front row. I'm telling you, there's just not much foul territory here at Ray Winder Field. I would say if I had to guess, from the first base line to the front row, we've got 45 feet. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him swinging with a changeup down. Duncan goes down swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Nicely done, Nick Beerbrod. Oh, he's got big league stuff tonight. Wow, that was a tremendous changeup, and we will head to the top half of inning number 3. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Travelers in the bottom of the second. Frisco 1, and the Travelers nothing.
What do you want when you gotta eat something? And it's gotta be sweet, and it's gotta be a lot, and you gotta have it now. What do you want? Lip, smack, and whip, back and patty, whack, and ink, and knack, and silver, rack, and cow, rack, and cracker jack, and cracker jack. Candy coated popcorn, peanuts, and a pie. That's what you get in Cracker Jack.
With State
Farm car insurance, you'll get more than just competitive rates. You'll get the unbeatable service that earned us the highest collision repair customer satisfaction among insurance providers. That's according to the J.D. Power & Associates 2003 Collision Repair Satisfaction Index Study. For competitive rates from a company you can trust, talk to a Texas State Farm agent today. For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit www.jdpower.com.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What you doing, hon?
Thinking about the good old days.
Jog my memory.
We agreed on everything.
You mean I agreed with you on everything? So?
So I want out.
Out?
I want Pizza Inn out.
What's wrong with Pizza Inn in?
Oh, trendsetter. Just because Pizza Inn is in doesn't mean Pizza Inn out isn't in too.
You say chewy Italian crust pizza with pepperoni and onions?
I say crispy, crunchy, thin crust, extra cheese, hold the onions.
You say spaghetti?
I say stromboli.
I say luscious chocolate chip dessert pizza for dessert. You do?
I do.
The magic's back.
I love you.
So what do you say we have a little Pizza Inn tonight?
Okay, now would that be Pizza Inn in or Pizza Inn out?
Made from scratch pizzas, hot appetizers, delectable desserts. Just click over to pizzainn.com for the location near you. Fresh, hot, and delicious. That's Pizza Inn.
Well, that's pizza out too, buddy.
For great tasting hot pizza, call any of our 31 GFW locations. For pizza out, it's Pizza Inn.
Frisco RoughRiders Baseball, exclusively on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket! Back in Little Rock, Arkansas, Eric Sear back out there for his third inning of work. He's given up a run so far on one hit. It was the Titus Meadows big blast to right field the last inning. A big blast out into the chain link fence that is serving as a barricade between the field and the highway that's just outside. Was that Loop 280, I believe, that's out there? 630. Same thing to me. This pitch is swung on, and it's no balls and two strikes. The Rick Azadorian. We're in Little Rock, and Nick Beerbaud taking on Eric Sear. This is a great pitching matchup. I don't know that you could ask for a better one right now in the Texas League. Azadorian swings and skies one to deep left center. Nick Gorneau going back. He's in front of the flagpole. It's in fair territory, and he makes the catch. 15 feet shy of the warning track, and Azadorian is out on an 0-2 pitch. Well, the only flaw in Sears' line right now has been that opposite field shot. This is Jeff Smith, the ninth hitter in the order. Frisco now will have hit around. They will have sent all 9 guys to the plate now. They have seen what Sear will take out there with him. By the way, Chris Rippeth is the home plate umpire tonight. Matt Kaler at first. Delphine Colon, the crew chief, is at third base. Rippeth, the rookie Texas League umpire in his 5th season as a professional strike caller and a ball caller and an out caller and a balk caller and a Jeff Smith takes his fastball high and whatever else they call. Here's the windup by the southpaw, bringing it home to Jeff. Ooh, there's a good pitch knee high. That's a strike. But it's Nick Beerbaud, a guy that opened the seasons in the major leagues for the first time in his career last year, taking on Eric Sear. Pitch. There's a high breaking ball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Jeff Smith. Smith very pleased with what the club's doing right now. He said he just wants to get this club on a roll. He's hitting well at the plate. Very impressed with what a lot of guys are doing, and he smashes this thing foul toward the front row. Good thing there was a chain link pitch there to protect a couple of folks down there. A lot of guys like to really get close in this facility, and you just have to be heads up. There's more room between the pitching rubber and the home plate area than there is from the first base line to the front row, if that tells you anything. There's not much foul territory here at Ray Winder Field. The count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the veteran catcher is going to motion for time, and Chris Griffith is going to grant it here in the third inning with Frisco up on top 1-0. Here's the windup, and the southpaw comes home. Over the top of the breaking ball, he smashes it on the line to center field, the base hit. And the Frisco RoughRiders have their second hit as Jeff Smith continues to rock and roll after a 2-hit night last night. He had 2 runs batted in a big 3-run 5th inning that allowed Frisco to take a 7-2 advantage. Those 7 runs would be enough to win it last night. And the KG 29-year-old veteran, the team captain, boy, doing a great job of using those hands. And you know Paul Carey that's coaching at first base right now said to himself, oh, nice hands. Nice hands, Jeff. Mike Elward's going to play in front of Smith over there. They hold him on unconventionally. The lefty kicks and comes home, and Jason Bourgeois, the leadoff hitter in this lineup, takes a pitch that apparently is too tight or down low. I don't know. It looked like it was a strike to me. That was a situation, though, where the catcher Mathis was set up outside, and the glove moved too much for the umpire to call it a strike. 1 ball, no strikes. Sear works from the first base side of the rubber, and Boosh pops it up in a short right field down the line, going at his Turner. Coming in and toward the line is a Speedo. He jogs in and makes the catch. And that ball's off the infield dirt about 100 feet, and Smith will have to stay put at first base. There are 2 outs now here in the Frisco third inning. And now here's Drew Meyer. Boy, we're just rocking and rolling tonight. Sometimes the action goes so fast, it just seems like we can't get a word in. And that's kind of the way it is tonight. I was talking with a couple of the Frisco hurlers, last night's winning pitcher, in fact, saying Nairn before this ball game. And Nairn talking about how games just seem to just fly by here in the Texas League. Nairn 5-0 coming into this ball game tonight. He has now been relegated to a bullpen role with the addition of Nick Bierbrot, who pitches in tonight's ball game for Frisco. But now Sam Nairn, Eric Sear, the 2 pitchers with 9 victories between them, might face off this series. There's a pitch that's off the plate, and Drew Meyer takes ball 2. Sam Nairn has won 5 games to this point. He and Matt Henry for El Paso and Tulsa's Jeff Francis have all won 5 games. And Sam said, I pitched over in East Carolina. It just seems like games here in the Texas League just roll so much faster than they do at the college level, at the A-Bowl level. And Drew Meyer takes a strike over the outside corner, and he calls time and walks back to the dugout. Where's he going? He walks down the steps. I don't know if he's going to get another bat or maybe some pine tar or what. I think he may have got another bat there. I have to ask him about that if I can remember. I can't remember to give you the rest of that Ted Williams story last night. How in the world am I going to remember to ask Drew Meyer about that? Anyway, count is at 2 balls and 1 strike. I will tell you the back half of that Ted Williams story, at least before this series comes to an end. This pitch is high for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike to Drew now with 2 outs as we play here in the top half of inning number 3. Frisco leads it 1-0 on a solo blast by the former Wichita Wrangler, Titus Meadows. Here's the low set. Sears going to kick and come home. Fastball swung on and pulled foul right side. They're really trying to work Meyer in. He traditionally has been a guy that likes to go up the middle in the other direction. But since coming off of the disabled list with that wrist problem, boy, his bat speed has increased. It looks like his confidence is a lot higher than where it was. And it also appears as though he's seeing the baseball a little bit better. Count is full now with 2 outs, so that means that the runner at first, Smith, the slow catcher, will be off. The first baseman, Elwood's going to play behind him. Here's the pitch. Runner breaks, pitches line towards center field. Hit well. Going over toward the gap. He dives headlong, and he makes the snow cone grab. In front of the one-bank side, a Superman headlong dive, and he snow cones it, hauling it in. Holy smokes. Meyer gets robbed again. My, oh, my, this crowd loves it. I've got to tell you, that was a beautiful catch by the young center fielder, and he may get a curtain call. Look at these folks. They're on their feet. Wow. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 3. It is 1-0 in favor of the Frisco RoughRiders on the ticket.
In 1957, a baseball glove manufacturer came up with the idea of honoring the best fielding performance at each position in baseball. They created a gold lame tanned leather glove, put it on a walnut base, and called it the Gold Glove. Today, winning the Gold Glove is one of baseball's most sought-after accolades, and 2 players share the record for the most Gold Gloves won. Third baseman Brooks Robinson and pitcher Jim Catt with 16 each. At Frisco Medical Center, we can relate to the idea of good hands and great performances. We have over 200 top surgeons and physicians representing over 20 different specialties. And Frisco Medical Center was designed from the ground up with patient comfort in mind. From how we schedule procedures to the hotel-like food and amenities we offer. All of us at Frisco Medical Center wish our other hometown team, the Frisco RoughRiders, great success this season. To learn more about Frisco Medical Center, visit our website at friscomedicalcenter.com.
Hey there, good P1s. Mike Reiner of the Hardline here to remind you about the greatness that is Borden Milk. Summer is here, time for kids to get out and play and time to get out to the ballpark. Borden Milk and the RoughRiders are on board with active, healthy families. Next time you take in the great game, have the Squids trade in those sugar-filled drinks for an ice-cold bottle of Borden Milk. It's packed with 9 essential nutrients and is vital for building strong, healthy kids. Borden Milk and the Frisco RoughRiders. Now that's the finest double play in town.
You're tuned to Rough Riders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
What a catch by Nick Gorneau in right center field, going hard to his left. Moving toward the gap, he dove headlong and robbed Drew Meyer on a 3-2 pitch with a runner breaking at first. Meyer scorched the ball. They got a little bit too much elevation on it, and Gorneau makes the play of the year so far for the Arkansas Travelers. Coming over and speaking with us in between the break here, the voice of the Arkansas Travelers, Phil Elson, said, that's the best catch we've seen all year. And as he walked off into the dugout and jogged off, the crowd came to its feet, smash, first base way, past the leading Jason Bonds at first. It's going to kick down into the corner. Speedo around first. He's on his way to second as Boyd plays it back in. A stand-up leadoff double for Jason Speedo, and the right fielder pulls one past Bonds, and now here's Justin Turner. A lead double against Nick Gorneau, and that leads us off here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Boy, I've got to tell you, that catch was something special. Man, oh man, was that a great catch. You got to put a star by that one, as they say. We don't say that too often, but we're going to say it now. That was a great catch. All right, back to work. First pitch is wide and low to Justin Turner. Turner just up from Class A ball. He was hitting a .94 in 19 games with Rancho Cucamonga. Second baseman. Boy, he's a slash and dasher. Deep crowds from the left side. Open stance. He pulls this pitch foul. And Jason Giambi that thing down past first base coach. These Arkansas Travelers. Don Tekiyoshi is the hitting instructor for these guys. He coaches at first. Tyrone Boykin is over the third base box. The Arkansas Travelers have their whites on. They've got the red lettering across the front. Changed up, waved at and missed. Great pitch by Beerbraun, I should say. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Speedo with a leadoff double. He is at second base right now. There is nobody out here in the Arkansas third inning. Game number 1 of a 4-game series. Smith setting up away. Here he comes. Beerbraun's pitch line toward right field. Leaning Bourgeois. He can't get it. It's into right field. The base hit. Speedo will stop at third base as Boy gets up with it quickly. And he's going to throw uphill to get it back into the infield. Boss has it, cutting it off. And the first 2 guys have reached the 8th place hitter and the 9th place hitter, coming up with hits 2 and 3 against Beerbraun. And now with guys at the corners and nobody out, we'll see what Alberto Calaspo will do, the Venezuela native, the young 21-year-old designated hitter who hits leadoff of this bunch, batting .302 in 159 official at-bats this year. He was 4 for 18 in that Tulsa series, but before that says he hit .375 in the 14 games prior to last series. He really has been going well, and right now he hits with runners at the corners. And a chance to drive in some more ribbies. He has driven in 16 runs for this bunch. Third most in the lineup. This first pitch is fouled away, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Patrick Boyd in right field talking to us before the ball game tonight. And he talked about a lot of things. One of the things he talked about was playing in right field. The tall grass is kind of bumpy out in the outfield here in Little Rock. This facility over 70 years old. High set. Here it comes. And the 0-1 is in the dirt. Coming up nicely by the veteran catcher, Jeff Smith, who has to go down to a shin guard to keep that one from going back to the backstop. And it's a ball and a strike. 5 hits between the 2 teams. Frisco still leads at 1-0 on a Titus Meadows solo shot that he came up with in the second inning against Eric Sear. Here is the high set. The kick and the pitch by the lefty. And this pitch is popped away foul. Calaspo went after a high changeup and barely was able to get a bat on it. He pops it foul into the crowd. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beerbraun's in spring training with Boston, by the way. Boston wanted to send this guy down to AAA, as we were talking to you earlier. And he decided not to do that. Ground ball shortstop way. Could be two. Bouncing over Meyer. He's got it. Flips to Bourgeois at second for one. The throw to first is wide of the bag. Botts can't stay on it. And that will score a run to tie this ball game as Espedo comes in to step on home plate, tying the score at 1. Turner is out at second base on a 6-4 fielder's choice. That ball seemed to take a funny hop as it kicked off the turf and into the mitt of Drew Meyer. He shoveled over to Bourgeois. His throw to first base was wide and toward the outfield side of first base. But going hard into second was Justin Turner. Credit him for breaking up that double play, potentially. And here's Rudy Gomez, who popped to center his first time. Here's the pitch. Line drive toward right center. Asadorian played that direction. He's over toward the gap. Makes the catch. Going to second. Turner rounding the bag. That's Galaspo. He thought that was out number 3. They throw back behind the runner at first, and they double him up. A base-running blunder there by Arkansas's Alberto Galaspo, as he thought there were 2 outs and the ball was hit. There was 1. He rounded second, and he was a dead Doug. Asadorian throwing it back to first base, and they double him up over there at the first base bag. So that will end the 3rd inning. Frisco with the benefit of a double play, and we'll go to the 4th. It's 1-1 on the ticket.
Hey, Ben, how are you?
Man, never better. I made a bundle last week on that tech stop.
You got a tip and didn't tell me?
What tip? It was on the cover of Business in the Dallas Morning News. Everybody saw it. Let me guess. You don't read it.
No, I watched The Angry Guy on cable.
Well, you got to start reading Business. It's got forecast, expert analysis. It lets you know what to keep your eyes on.
You know, I think I will start reading it. Cable guy's a jerk anyway.
Business. Every day inside the Dallas Morning News and at dallasnews.com. Know the full story.
Part of the excitement surrounding the RoughRiders is how affordable it is for the whole family to enjoy a night of quality entertainment. At Horizon Homes, they realize a great value because that's what they build. As an affiliate of Highland Homes, they're committed to offering the same quality you've come to expect at Highland. And with homes priced for the 100s, their affordability is a home run. Horizon is building new homes in communities throughout the DFW area. Horizon Homes, a proud sponsor of the Frisco RoughRiders. Online at horizonhomesdfw.com.
It's the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes.
It's awful cold up here, man.
Listen to Dunham and Miller every morning at 7:35 for a clue to the identity of a dead celeb.
I listen to these guys all the time on 1700, man.
Then listen again later in the day for another clue and your chance to guess the stiff. Get it right and you win.
Oh, this is heaven. It's very cold up here.
It's the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes. Brought to you by Central Yamaha in Plano and Central Polaris in McKinney on Sports Radio 1310. The Ticket. You're listening to Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
Back in Little Rock, Scott Garner with you as we go to the top half of inning number 4. Frisco and Arkansas tied at a run apiece. The RBI of Alberto Galaspo on the fielder's choice, tying it in the bottom half of inning number 3. We go to the top of the 4th, and Eric Sear throws a first pitch strike into Jason Botts. Sear got it at his shoulder scoped and Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago. He was on the 40-man roster of these Angel Farm hands. This ball is ripped foul as Botts swinging and hitting one, smashing one just to the left of third base, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Sear is a tough customer and always has been. He's 6'4", 200 pounds, selected by the Padres in 98. He was the 30th round pick. And you just never know how these guys are going to mature and materialize. And right now, he is leading the Texas League in a few columns, and the pitch is inside too tight on 0-2. So it's 1-2 to Botts. He's hitting right-handed against this left-handed thrower. Sear comes in 4-0. He has won his last 4 decisions, and here's the pitch. Ooh, he got a fastball up, and Botts didn't make him pay. He missed his pitch, per se, fouling it back. Man, oh, man, you can't do that. Very hard to be successful. Sear, though, with 4 wins, second most in the Texas League. Sam Nairn's got 5 wins, picked up win number 5 last night. Sear, though, 37 strikeouts. That's 6th best in the Texas League. And this pitch is foul, or actually wide for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We are tied at 1. Jason Botts leading us off here in the top of the 4th. Batting for Frisco, who are laying their road graves tonight Black letters across the front, outlined in red. Backdoor bender just missed. Mathis held it there for just a moment. And home plate umpire Chris Griffith said that was a little bit wide, and it's 3-2. Nicely done. Jason Botts working the count nicely, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of folks concerned about Botts' power surge. Here's the break. This ball is hit well toward left center field. Carlos Duncan going over, as is the center fielder Gorneau. He's going to give way to the left fielder, and he makes the catch, taking care of that towering fly ball in medium deep left center field, and Botts is out. Well, he popped to left, so there's 1 gone. A lot of folks, though, concerned about Jason in his power surge and what he will do now that he's starting to swing the bat well. You are a reader of the Newberg Report, had a chance to browse that this morning, and Jamie writing about Jason Botts and the latest that he is undergoing, wanting to see if Jason will continue to work the counts and continue to do the things that he knows he needs to do. He was working with Paul Carey on the last series over in Wichita. First pitch changeup is high to Marshall McDougal. Well, you miss with that changeup up in that area, and sometimes you won't get the baseball bag. But it's 1-0 as it came in there way high. McDougal last time 5-3. Botts, by the way, now 0 for 2 with a grounded to short and a pop to left. There's a little slash in the center field, a soft liner, and he dumps it into short center for a bloop single. Marshall McDougal with a base hit with 1 out here in the 4th inning of a tie ball game. We are deadlocked at 1. But Jason Botts working with Paul Carey on the last series. He was in the clubhouse, and Paul had the camcorder out there on the table, and he also had the computer working. And he said, "Hey, come over here, Botts. Let's look at something." Botts was looking at a few of the swings that he was taking over in spring training and comparing it to his swing that he's got now. There's a throw over. And the lefty keeping McDougal close. Talking to Tim Island about that Botts swing, and Tim says that he's much improved over last year. You can just see the maturing process taking hold. Botts seems to really be maturing both physically and mentally as a player. Titus Meadows would be next. Here is Edgar Gonzalez. Another check in McDougal at first base. I don't know if this is going to help Edgar or not, but Gonzalez looking for a hit tonight. He struck out his first time on a 2-2 pitch. It happened to be a changeup. See what he does here. Looking for a hit tonight to extend the hitting streak to 14 games. That would tie a franchise mark set by Ramon Navarre last year. Here it comes. Hit high in the air, foul, spinning down the right side, and it is out of play toward the batting cages. No balls, 1 strike. Eric Sear getting ahead. Sear, 37 strikeouts this year. That's the 6th best in the Texas League. Here's a long look in now. Count is no balls and 1 strike to Edgar. He's really hitting the fastball away well right now. Here's the pitch. Fastball in on a straight mark, and he pops it foul. It spins high in the air, way out of the ballpark. The overhang is quite low here at Ray Winder Field. There's the orange rust rafter that will serve as some support for the overhang. You've got green wooden bleachers in the upper 10 rows of this stadium that holds about 6,100. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez, just off the inside corner on 0-2. Gonzalez dramatically backing away from that pitch, but that pitch was maybe an inch off the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Edgar Gonzalez, the Chula Vista, California native, 25 years of age, has 10 extra base hits in his last 10 ball games. 8 of those have been doubles, 2 triples. He's really hitting the baseball well. Here he comes, and he fouls this pitch off his foot. That was a slider really barreling in on him, coming from the lefty, and the righty will sort of hobble out of the box and put his left hand on his left shin. Boy, that had to hurt. That was that lead shin. He's got the leggings totally exposed tonight, with the Rough Riders coming in wearing their road grays, gray tops, gray bottoms. The Arkansas Travelers, their colors, red, white, and black. Like the Frisco Rough Riders. They've got the home white uniforms on. 2-tone caps, red bills, black tops of the caps, with the A across the front. I'm about to say the California Angels, the parent club of these guys. And this Anaheim Angels, obviously. Team that They have already sent a guy to. Casey Kochman is no longer with this bunch. Here's the pitch. Line drive toward right center. This might get down, and it will. A base hit into right center. Rounding second. McDougal on his way to third. Here comes the throw to third base. Oh, it caroms up the mid of the third baseman and hits the umpire right in the ear. And it looks like he's going to be all right. Chris Griffith, the home plate umpire, was racing up the third baseline to make the call at third base. And the throw coming in from Jason Espedo in right rolled up Dallas McPherson's glove and ricocheted onto the right earlobe of home plate umpire Chris Griffith. That will allow Gonzalez to go to second. And as they check on the home plate umpire Chris Griffith, that base hit right there, he moves to second on what probably will be an error. He will. An error on the right fielder. That ties Ramon Navarre for the most consecutive hits in club history. A 14-game hitting streak now for Edgar Gonzalez, and he sets the table for the red-hot Titus Meadows as the trainer for Arkansas comes out right now taking a look at these guys. Jamie Welsh out there examining that right earlobe of home plate umpire Chris Griffith. Boy, that had to hurt, and he was just wincing in pain as soon as the baseball hit him. The ball really didn't roll up McPherson's glove side. It kind of just hit his forearm and then ricocheted off the ear of the umpire. He's smiling ear to ear now. He's going to be all right. Probably more embarrassed than he is anything else. And Espedo says, hey, stick that one in your ear. He will take his place right behind home plate now. 1-1 is the score right now. The RoughRiders won, and the Arkansas Travelers won. Now, Sear has been standing around now for a few minutes. He's going to throw a warm-up toss or two now to the catcher, Jeff Mathis. Umpire's still trying to shake that thing off. Boy, that had to hurt. Gonzalez goes up to second base on the error. A base hit and an error for Gonzalez, and that ties Navarre for the longest hitting streak in club history. That's Gonzalez batting average from .313. He's hitting around .315 his next at bat. Now it's Meadows who homered his first time against Sear. Sear giving up the big blast last time to Titus. That's only the second home run that he's given up. As a club, Arkansas now has given up a total of 32 home runs. Frisco has allowed, or check that, Arkansas has given up 26 home runs. Frisco has given up 36 this year. Infield in. Meadows takes a low strike, knee high. And it's 0-1. Runners at second and third. Everybody in the infield. Dallas McPherson at third. Rudy Gomez at shortstop. Justin Turner at second. And Mike Elwood at first. They are in tight. No balls, one strike. Meadows' job is to get something out of the infield right now. He's trying to untie this ball game, and he takes a pitch in. Sear knows that. He's trying to pitch him inside. They're trying to induce a ground ball at somebody right now. They are not going to allow him to get his arms extended. I wouldn't think this at bat. That's what he did last time. He got a pitch out over the plate, and he smashed it to right center, making it a 1-0 ball game. Arkansas would tie it in the bottom half of inning number 3. We played top 4 with 1 out. Meadows is going to call timeout here, facing Eric Sear. Sear playing with the Padres early on in 1999. And here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air. Left center field, hit pretty well. Long run for Gorneau. He's still going toward the gap. Reaches up and makes the running stab. Everybody tags. Tagging at third. Here comes Frisco's Marshall McDougal to score. Gonzalez goes to third on a sacrifice fly as Meadows has driven in run number 7 for the RoughRiders. So it is now a 2-1 ball game. That's the 7th run batted in. Everybody moving up on the sacrifice fly. That was his job right there. Meadows hitting the fly ball to deep left center field. Gorneau making the running catch in front of the warning track over there. And now it's going to be Rick Azadorian. That was his sole job right there with the infield in less than 2 outs. Trying to get something out of the infield. Nicely done. And Gonzalez goes to third. And now it's going to be Patrick Boyd. Meadows with both ribbies tonight. It's 2-1 Frisco. Gonzalez takes his lead at third. And the breaking ball hits Patrick Boyd on the first pitch, and now runners will be at the corners. So here's Rick Azadorian. See you, though, with a rocky fourth inning here, a guy that was put on waivers last year, picked up by Cincinnati. He went to Chattanooga for a ball game, pitched in one game for Chattanooga. They put him back on waivers, and Anaheim picked him up again. Unbelievable. You know, he's had shoulder problems, and right now he is down on the short end of a 2-1 score. He has not lost this year. Sear is 4-0, and the left-hander looks in for the sign to Jeff Mathis. He'll pitch to Rick. Azadorian has not gone well. He popped out his first time in an 0-2 pitch, and he takes a fastball tight at the knees, and it's 1-0 to the Worcester, Massachusetts native, the 23-year-old. First-round draft pick. Azadorian was, I believe. I have to go back and check the records, but I believe he was. Signed for almost $2 million. Here is the low set. Sear to the plate. This fastball is upstairs. And our count now is at 2 balls and no strikes to Rick Azadorian, who hits 8. Frisco leads at 2-1 with Gonzalez at third and Patrick Boyd at first. There are 2 outs here in the top of the inning. And he sure was. He was a first-round pick by the Red Sox in 1999, 17th overall pick. Here's the pitch of the former first-round draft pick. It is low, and it's 3-0. Azadorian has never had a difficult time with his defense. He's got the best outfield arm in the Rough Rider outfield. I mean, bar none. He has the best arm of any Rough Rider outfielder. And you ask anybody, and they will confirm that and concur. It's always been the batting that has plagued Rick. He's always struggled at the plate. He's a .239 career hitter. Last year in Stockton, at an 8-ball, he had just a .185. This is his first stint ever in Double-A. Here's the pitch. Inside corner for a strike. It's a good pitch right there. And the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike to Azadorian. He's got a hitter's count. He's got a chance to drive in some runs here. He's a .203 batter this year with no home runs and 7 runs batted in with 7 doubles. Rick loves the ball low, and Sear is a low ball pitcher. He has turned into a sinker slider guy since having surgery a couple of years ago. His fastball used to range around 94, 95. Low set. Here it comes, 3-1. Runners at the corners. Change up low, and Azadorian was ahead of it. Chopping it foul toward the on-deck circle. Count full, 3-2, and Boyd will be off for the next pitch at first base. 2-1 Frisco. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Rough Riders. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Travelers as we play here in the top half of inning number 4. We have had a wacky inning. The home plate umpire has gotten hit in the ear with a ball thrown from the right fielder. Oh, is he doing umpiring third over there? 3-2. Runner breaks, pitch fouled away. And I say that in jest. If you don't know this, down in the Texas League and in Double-A, you work with a 3-person crew. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in AAA, they do work with 4-man crews in AAA. I'm not certain, but I know in A-ball they work with 2-person crews. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And let me tell you, when these umpires go from A-ball to Double-A, they really like it because that means they only have to work the plate every third day. They rotate clockwise around the infield. Here's the 3-2. Grounded third base way. Hits softly toward Tim Island, who ranges hard to his right. He picks up the baseball. Oh, looks for somebody to toss the baseball to, and he tosses it to a fan in the front row. Boy, there was some uninspired fans down there. Island was looking to throw that ball to somebody. Everybody down there yawning right now. Somebody wake these folks up. Get them playing bingo or something out here. They do that in between innings, you know, over here in Arkansas. Is it postage stamp night? What is it? Or is it blackout? Is it time for a blackout? The Travelers have been blacked out for the last 7 ball games, it seems, and maybe that's where they'll keep. Here's the 3-2. Change up, lined up the middle softly. To his left, Gomez. He's got it on the rim of the infield. In center, throws to first in time. Oh, what a play by the shortstop. He fired it across his body. Azadorian can't believe it, and he slams his helmet down on the ground. 2 beautiful plays by middle guys up the middle. Nick Gorno in center. Now Rudy Gomez hard to his left. Made the play on the rim of the infield behind second in the outfield grass. and Azadorian is out. Wow, the troubles and struggles continue for Azadorian. Well, the Rough Riders do score once. They do get 2 hits. The RBI sac fly by Meadows. We go bottom 4. It's 2-1 in favor of the Rough Riders on the ticket.
Missing, always missing. Too much talking, not enough kissing. Just a box without the thing. Plenty of yin, but not enough yang. I bet ain't nothing without a ball. So settle for someone you can have it all. Red food real, but time's all here. Red food real, but life.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Houston, Texas.
Once again, the 7-Up guy. It's amazing what can be done with electronics today. But rather than waste all that technology on things like personal computers and medical breakthroughs, I've come up with something truly astounding. The 7-Up Talking Can.
Hello, I am a can of 7-Up.
I programmed the 7-Up Talking Can with every piece of knowledge in my brain.
7-Up is an extremely refreshing soft drink.
That way, when I'm not around, the can will tell you all about 7-Up.
You will enjoy the great lemon-lime taste of 7-Up.
See? Isn't that great?
7-Up is crisp, clean, and caffeine-free.
Just what I would have said.
The 7-Up guy's bank account number is 5792613.
Wait a minute. It's not supposed to...
He cheats on his income tax.
No, 7-Up. Stick to 7-Up.
He still sleeps with a teddy bear.
They don't have to know that.
He never graduated school.
Oh, plenty of people.
Grade school.
Okay, I guess I should have only programmed it with my knowledge of 7-Up. I'll work on it. Until next time, make 7
up yours.
This is Frisco Rough Riders baseball on the ticket. 1700 AM. KTDK, Sherman Denison.
We're going to continue here at Ray Winder Field, Little Rock, Arkansas. Game 1, 4-game series. Frisco's got their second lead of the ball game now. A 2-1 score out there on the big board. They got the lead in the top half of inning number 4, but wanted more. Rick Azadorian hit a 3-2 pitch, with Boyd breaking at first, and Azadorian hit it off the end of the bat. A soft liner that hit the grass. It bounced on the infield grass. That took some speed off of it and gave Rudy Gomez time to move hard to his left, made the play directly behind second base in short center field, and the shortstop whipped across his body and threw out the speedy Rough Riders center fielder on a close play at first base, and that disallowed further damage to Sear and the Arkansas Travelers. So we go to the bottom half of inning number 4, and Nick Gorneau makes a first pitch down low for a ball, and it's 1-0. This pitch is swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's check some scores here. We've got some action going on up there in the big leagues right now. Check the American League for you after this 1-1 pitch. Gorneau 5-3 on a first pitch last time. Here he comes. Fastball stays wide. 2 balls, 1 strike. White Sox with a 4-1 lead over Cleveland right now. 4-run 4th inning for the White Sox. They play in the 7th frame. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on 2-1. Fastball with good life on it, and Gorneau can't make contact. The 25-year-old center fielder who has made a splendid play robbing Drew Meyer of possibly extra bases and runs in the 3rd. Now at the plate, here's the 2-2 from the left-hander. Righty swings and fouls it back. That thing will go out of the stadium. Again, we have a low roof here. The press area actually is hanging right over about the 10th row of metal individual stadium-style seats right below us. Now, I've got to tell you, the top 10 rows of this old facility have the actual wood from the original chair-back seats. They are painted green. The walkways have been painted orange. The concrete walkways have been painted orange. Just like Bill Valentine likes it here. Boy, that's a beautiful contrast, orange and green. This pitch is low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Gorneau. Swung on line down the right field line. It's curling toward the corner, and it will land just fair. In for extra bases. Boyd goes over to pick it up, and Nick Gorneau will truck into second base with a leadoff double. His 12th two-bagger of the year. He's now 1 for 2 tonight, and he'll set the table for the meat of this order with the cleanup hitter Dallas McPherson to the bat, with Jeff Mathis soon to follow with nobody out here in inning number 4. So lead doubles in each of the last 2 innings for these Arkansas Travelers. Jason Espedo doubled and scored in the 3rd, and we'll see what Frisco can do here with Dallas McPherson to the bat. He struck out on a 2-2 pitch last time. That a clean double down the right field line. The first pitch is swung and popped up foul territory. McDougal's going to run out of room quickly. He does a feet-first slide, sliding into the barricade right in front of the front row, and it will bound up the concrete and kick about 10 rows back. Well, it was out of play. No chance for McDougal there, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Other scores in the American League, it's Toronto 5 and Minnesota 2. A 3-run 6 for Toronto, giving the Blue Jays a 5-2 edge. In the top of the 7th, Tampa Bay losing to Boston 7-1. 5 runs in the 7th inning for Boston. Our Beldhorn with a home run for Boston in that ball game. This pitch is way wide for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's hit hitting Dallas McPherson. Dallas from North Carolina, 6'4", 235, and what a prospect this guy is. Here's the kick and the pitch by Beerbrot. Comes on with a slider, and he swings and skies one over the third base dugout. This thing is way out of play. Beerbrot getting ahead at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rangers have a 3-0 lead over Kansas City right now. There has not been a home run in the contest. 2 runs in the 3rd for Texas. They get a run in the 4th for Kansas City, a club that really has been struggling under second-year manager Tony Pena. I'm telling you, I was reading an article just recently on Kansas City and Carlos Beltran. This guy is due to get some big money. This ball is fouled away. Count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yankees in Anaheim just underway. Jorge Vasquez is going for the Yankees, or Vasquez is going. Aaron Seeley going for Anaheim. Jeremy Bondeman for Detroit. Rich Harden, the former Midland Rockhound, going for the Oakland Athletics tonight in a game that will get underway at 9:05 tonight. Less than an hour. Baltimore and Seattle doing battle. Cabrera and Garcia in that contest. Check the National League after this 1-2 pitch to Dallas. Runner at second base. Nobody out for Arkansas. It's 2-1 Frisco as we play here at the bottom half of inning number 4. Kicked in the pitch by Beerbrot, and he throws a hard fastball, and McPherson waves off of it. He would not swing at it. It's down and outside, and it's 2-2. The Astros have opened up a 7-run lead with a 3-run 6th. It's 9-2 in favor of Houston. They visit Florida tonight. Lance Berkman comes up with his 6th homer of the year. Brad Ausmus hits number 2 for the Houston Astros. Here's the kick and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on line to center field. Coming in for the gap. Rick Asadorian. He's there. He makes the jogging cap-high grab for out number 1. Nick Dorneau goes nowhere. He has to stay put at second base. Nice play by Rick Asadorian in center. You read that one very well off the bat. Been very pleased with Rick Asadorian's play in center field so far for the RoughRiders. He always gets very good breaks. Reminds me of a lot like a guy named Ryan Fleming, who no longer is playing with us. A guy that played in Frisco last year, the veteran. He was 27 years of age last year. He was a left-handed swinger. Asadorian, a true righty. Fleming was shorter and seemed to be a little bit speedier. Asadorian's more athletic, and Rick made a nice play there. So there's out number 1. And now here's Jeff Mathis, the Arkansas catcher who hits 5th. 297 hitter. He's got 4 home runs and 19 runs batted in. He didn't play in yesterday's ball game, but he swings and pops up the first pitch toward the right center field gap. Carrying well. Asadorian going back. He reaches the wall. He leans. He can't get it. It scrapes off the top of the wall. Rounding third. Here comes Dorneau. He's going to score easily. And Mathis strides into second base with a double. And Patrick Boyd plays it in very quickly as it bounded up the one-bank sign in right center. It's a very short porch out there. I thought Asadorian was going to have a chance there. He leaped to the base of the wall, and it kicked off the middle part of the wall. Very tall wall here in Arkansas, and it turns into a run-producing double for Mathis, his 20th ribby of the year. And when Jeff has played the run so far this year, the Travelers are something like 10-2. And it ties this ball game at 2. 2 doubles in the frame for Arkansas, and we're deadlocked once again. The ball was spanked toward right center field on the first pitch. Mathis coming up with the RBI. First pitch to Elwood is strike. He comes home with a fastball, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Mathis now at second base in the tie ball game. Beerbrot has been touched now for 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings, or at least 2 runs in the 3rd and 4th frames. There's still 1 down here in the 4th for Arkansas. This ball game's starting to drag a little bit. Fastball pulled on the ground, third base with a skimmer to McDougal. He's got it. He looks back, the runner to second. They might have had him hung up over there. Had he thrown it behind the runner, that's Mathis at second. Instead, will throw to first. Elwood is out. And now there are 2 outs. Boy, Mathis was halfway to third on that ball. McDougal glanced to second, looked the runner back. He sprinted back towards second, did Mathis, the runner. McDougal, had he thrown to Booz, who was cutting in behind Mathis over there, Booz was calling for the baseball, they probably would have had Mathis at second base. But Marshall takes the sure thing at first. And with 2 outs, Carlos Duncan, the Dominican, takes a fastball outside for a ball. All right, back to the National League scorecard. Where were we? Montreal 3, Milwaukee 2. They play in the top half of inning number 8 in Montreal. 7-6 Philly over L.A. right now in the 8th. Boy, some home runs hit in that ball game. This pitch is outside for ball 2. Los Angeles sees Beltre bang out his 11th. Grabowski, his 3rd. He has hit 2 home runs in that contest. Mike Lieberthal with his 5th. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, covered up by Smith. He throws the mask off as the ball caroms off his chest protector. He kicks in front of the plate. He picks up the baseball 10 feet in front of the dish and looks Mathis back to second base. And it's 3 balls and no strikes to the 7th place hitter in this Arkansas lineup. It's Carlos Duncan. There are 2 outs with Mathis at second base. Doubles in the frame, tying the ball game. A double to lead off the inning by Gorneau down the right field line, and Jeff Mathis banging a pitch off the right center field wall, making it a 2-2 contest. Nothing but solos. No pitcher, no team has scored more than 1 in any inning. And now with that 4-pitch walk to Carlos Duncan, that brings Steve Luber, the sheriff, out of the Frisco Rough Rider dugout. He wants to chat with his battery and the shortstop, Drew Meyer, right now. That's who's on top of the mound. They're talking to Beardrod, talking about a few issues right now. Runners will be at first and second with 2 outs. At the bottom of this order coming up, Jason Espito and Justin Turner. Back to the scorecard we go. They are just underway in Pittsburgh. And as actually that ball game has just been postponed in Pittsburgh due to some weather conditions down there. They've had a lot of rain over in the Pittsburgh area. Colorado 8, Cincinnati 3. That ball game of the 9th. Oh, by the way, the home runs for Philly, Jim Thome with his 11th, Bobby Abreu, number 11, Pat Burrell with 2 homers in that contest. He's now had 8 homers hit in that Philadelphia ball game tonight. How about that? St. Louis 4, the Mets 3, and here comes the first pitch, the left-handed swinging Jason Espito, and he fouls the first pitch off. A fastball got in tight to him. And it spins off to the left side and foul. No balls and 1 strike. St. Louis 4, the Mets 3. Arizona with a 2-0 lead over Atlanta. That ball game in the 8th. And San Francisco has a 1-0 edge over the Cubbies in the bottom half of inning number 4. Right now, we play here in the bottom of the 4th with a 2-2 score out there. And the 0-1 is wide. 1 ball, 1 strike to Espito, a left-handed batter from Itasca, Illinois. 6 feet, 200 pounds, 25-year-old. Over 108 at bats this year. He has hit .324. He's swinging it well right now. A light-toned tan bat. And he takes strike 2 as Beerbroad puts it right over the outside corner for a strike. Tied at 2. We have not had action in either bullpen to this point. This ball game has seen 1 home run. That was a Titus Meadows blast to right center field. Frisco had a 1-0 lead. Then they had a 2-1 lead, only to see these Travelers tie it earlier this frame, in fact. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Outside corner. He got him looking. Jason Espito caught window shopping at a fastball on the outside corner. 3rd strikeout for Beerbroad. He has logged just 1 batter. It came here in the 4th frame. They get 2 runs. Take it 1 run on 2 doubles. And we'll go to the 5th. It's tied at 2 on the ticket.
Once upon a time, 3 bears moved out of the woods and settled for a condo in a pleasant neighborhood. But Mama Bear found condo life was not a bed of roses, because Baby Bear soon had his share of coughs and runny noses. She went to get some cough drops at the local mega store, but took so long to find them, she forgot what she came for.
This mega store is much too large.
The bear began to whine.
It takes an hour to park my car and 2 to stand in line.
The nearby corner drugstore was a disappointment, too.
The prices here are much too high. What is a bear to do?
Then Goldilocks, the landlord, offered up a wise suggestion.
My Kroger is the right store for value and selection.
She thanked her kindly for the tip and went that very night. And when she got to Kroger, she found everything just right. Kroger, right drugstore, right price.
The healthcare professionals at Medical Center of Plano have provided quality medical services for North Texas for nearly 30 years. Conveniently located at Coit Road and 15th Street in Plano, Medical Center of Plano has continued to grow to meet the healthcare needs of the community with the most advanced technology and services available. Our dedicated staff cares for each patient with compassion and kindness. You don't have to wonder where to find the absolute best in healthcare for you and your family. Just look at Medical Center of Plano. Call now for more information. 972-596-6800.
This is Frisco RoughRiders baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket!
We have logged 4 innings tonight, and we are tied at 2. We have gotten nowhere. Each team with 2 runs. The Travelers have out-hit Frisco 5-4. The only error was committed earlier by an Arkansas player, and that was an error on the right fielder, Jason Espedo, who threw a ball into third base from right field, and the ball kicked off the mid of Dallas McPherson. Actually, at the home plate umpire in the ear. Kept it from going toward the front row. Helping out the Arkansas Travelers in that instance. The RoughRiders sent 6 guys to bat in inning number 4, and it's going to be Jeff Smith, Jason Bourgeois, and Drew Meyer. Face these Arkansas Travelers. The RoughRiders now have won 3 of their last 4 ball games. And this pitch is wide for a ball. And looking at the standings, Frisco just 4 games back. They were 8 games back just about a week and a half ago, and they have trimmed that in half. It's now down to 4. Tulsa and Wichita leading the division. Smash right side, just past the diving Mike Elwood at first, and it is foul. Just to the right of the first base bag and down the right field line. Smith making a bit of his second hit. Facing Eric Sear. Boy, Jeff talking earlier tonight, he said anytime you win 3 or 4 in a series, it's great, but he wants to see this RoughRiders squad try to tighten it up defensively a little bit. Frisco yesterday committing 3 errors in the ball game. Jason Bourgeois, who was at second base tonight, kicked 2 balls around. Frisco committing 3 errors, but still hanging on to win it 7-5. And here's the pitch. Good fastball over the top, just outside, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jeff Smith, the Frisco RoughRider catcher, sitting .339 on the year with a home run and 13 runs batted in, leading the ball club right now. He hits this one in the air to center field. This should be easy for Gorneau, who comes in toward the gap. Duncan racing over from left field. He's going to call off the Arkansas center fielder, and he's going to make the catch. There is out number 1. So to the top we go, and Jason Bourgeois, who's 0 for 2. Smith now 1 for 2 on the night. And Jeff also saying that he loves coming to Ray Winder Field. He said, but you can't let the playing conditions get in your head. You can't let it affect you. He knows that this infield is not very solid. He knows the outfield is a little bit bumpy. There's a very drastic slope from the infield to the outfield to allow this field to drain a little bit better, meaning that when you're in right field and you are standing at home plate and you look out to right field, it is difficult to see the outfielder's needs. From the knee down, it's pretty much tough to see an outfielder, meaning that as a right fielder, you're essentially throwing uphill. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball the other direction, right at Justin Turner, the second baseman. He's got it, gobbles it up, throws to first. And Booz is retired 4-3 by 5 strides. Quickly 2 up and 2 down for the RoughRiders here in the top half of inning number 5. And now it's shortstop Drew Meyer's turn. Eric Sear, 4-0 this year. Threw 94 to 96 miles an hour a couple of years ago. He had arm surgery. And his fastball seems to be right back to normal. He threw in the upper 80s last year pitching against the Frisco RoughRiders. There's a breaking pitch that Meyer looks at for ball 1. Sear last year said he was just trying to get back to where he was. Remember, these Angels put him on waivers, and he was picked up by Cincinnati last year. There's a slider down low as Meyer squares the bunts. He's batting in the 2-slide tonight. Dallas McPherson charging, and now he'll back up a few steps, but still will settle in just on top of the grass in front of third base over there, guarding the line, the 2-0. And Meyer looks at a fastball that stays away from him. Meyer's been swinging it well, but 0 for 2 tonight. In case you missed it, last inning, Edgar Gonzalez extending his hitting streak to 14 games with a base hit to right field. 3-0 to Drew. Right down the pipe for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. But when Cincinnati picked him up off of waivers, they sent him down to Chattanooga. Pitched 1 game, Sear did, down at Chattanooga. Then the Angels decided to pick him back up after Chattanooga in the Reds put him on waivers. Changeup on 3-1. And Meyer swings way out in front of it. He's got a good changeup tonight. Both of these two pitchers very cagey and crafty as left-handers. And the changeup has been very deceptive for both hurlers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes to Drew. Left-hand batter, former first-round pick. Pulling one to short second base plate. Justin Turner's coming in. He's charging. He's got it. He throws. And Meyer is gone. So Meyer trying to pull a pitch on the outside corner. Another off-speed pitch. And he weakly grounds out. And that will end the top of the 5th. We are deadlocked at 2. And you are listening to The Ticket.
Hey there, good P1s. Mike Reiner of the Hardline here to remind you about the greatness that is Borden Milk. Summer is here, time for kids to get out and play and time to get out to the ballpark. Borden Milk and the RoughRiders are on board with active, healthy families. Next time you take in the great game, have the Squids trade in those sugar-filled drinks for an ice-cold bottle of Borden Milk. It's packed with 9 essential nutrients and is vital for building strong, healthy kids. Borden Milk and the Frisco RoughRiders. Now that's the finest double play in town.
My name's Andy, and I didn't want to admit it at first, but I have a problem.
Go ahead, Andy. We're all here for you.
Hi, Andy. Well, it's like this, Doc. Like I'll be at work, and all of a sudden, it's all I can think about.
Go on.
Like just the other day in a meeting, I thought I heard the roar of the crowd. See, did you guys just hear that?
Hear what, Andy?
Never mind. The sounds aren't the worst of it. 2 days ago, I was at lunch with my boss, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a line drive screaming right at me. So I dove out of my chair, barehanded it, and threw it to first.
What happened then?
Well, I took out 2 old ladies in the table next to me and ruined a brand new suit.
When was the last time you went to a Frisco RoughRiders game?
At least a month ago, Doc.
Andy! You know as well as I do that you can't quit cold.
Yeah, you're right, Doc.
Of course I am. Now, I suggest you buy a 7-game weekend plan today.
I'll never let it happen again, Doc. Thanks.
Riders Jump In 7-game plan still available. Call 972-731-9200 or visit www.ridersbaseball.com today.
Dallas Desperados Arena League football. Indoors, in your face, and this month, indecent. It's the Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket P1 Pajama Party Night this Saturday. Pack your PJs and pick up your $13.10 ticket to the P1 PJ section. Call 972-785-4900 to rub flannel with pajama-clad Giorgio and Grego as they call the game right next to you.
Don't forget pajama-clad.
Then see the feathers fly as Jub Jub takes on Rowdy in a halftime pillow fight. Call 972-785-4900 now. Everyone's wearing pajamas.
No birthday suits, please.
As the Desperados put the sleeper hold on the Columbus Destroyers this Saturday night from Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. Hey, baseball fan person. After a night of slumber, dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, hot sports opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo too. Mornings on Sports Radio 13. This is your Frisco RoughRiders baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
Ticket! We are back in Little Rock, Arkansas, and then we go to the top half, Ticket's bottom half of inning number 6. And it is going to be Justin Turner, Alberto Calaspo, and Rudy Gomez. And the first hitter, Turner line one to right field for out number 1, first pitch swinging. And Calaspo, first pitch swinging, hit a ground ball to second base. 2 down. And Gomez swinging and popping a pitch away. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is 0 for 2 tonight. There are 2 outs already. Very quickly for Beerbrod. Comes home with a fastball. That's on the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wichita, by the way, beating Tulsa 1-0 right now. The top 2 teams in the league going at it. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Nick. San Antonio leads Round Rock 2-0, while Midland has a 2-0 lead over the El Paso Diablos right now. That game in the 3rd inning. Nick Beerbrod on the mound for these Frisco RoughRiders. 1-2, fouled away. Beerbrod, by the way, last season, opening a season in the big leagues for the first time in his career. He went on the pitch for the Devil Rays, the Indians, and Cleveland's AAA Buffalo affiliate in 2003. It was a combined 0-2 with a 914 earned run average. He had 44 earned runs in 43-plus innings. In 18 Major League appearances, he had 5 starts. He was Tampa Bay's number 4 starter when the year began. 1-2, grounded first base way. It comes up on Bods. He keeps it in front of him, kicks off his chest. He picks it up and will run and touch first base himself. And that will end the 5th frame. So we have completed a total of 5 innings, and we'll go to the 6th. We've got ourselves a 2-2 ball game on the ticket.
Hey, baseball fan person, after a night of slumber, dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, Hot Sports Opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo, too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
To maintain the beauty of James Hardie siding on your home, you'll need to have the following tools. First, a large, comfortable couch, and of course, a big screen TV. Oh, and a huge plate of nachos, which if unavailable can be substituted with chips and any type of sour cream-based dip. Yes, those are the tools you'll need to keep your home's exterior looking great. That's because James Hardie siding requires so little maintenance. It doesn't rot, warp, or crack. It holds paint 3 to 4 times longer than wood, and it's non-combustible. Basically, it's free of the problems normally associated with wood. Yet, unlike vinyl, it's got the beauty and character of wood. And best of all, it comes with a 50-year limited transferable warranty. James Hardie Siding. Put it on your home and spend more time on your couch.
James Hardie Siding is the proud exterior of the Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark, home of the Frisco RoughRiders. When you're ready to replace your old wood or vinyl siding, re-side with James Hardie. Visit jameshardie.com for more information.
Frisco RoughRiders Baseball, exclusively on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket! Boy, it is just a great night for baseball. 75-degree temp. The RoughRiders and the Travelers are tied at 2. And we go to the top half of inning number 6. It's Jason Botts, Marshall McDougal, and Edgar Gonzalez. Well, the 2-2 game. The RoughRiders have been out hit tonight, 5-4. Trying to win another one on the road. They win 3 of 4 against Wichita. Trying to win here in Arkansas to begin the series. And Jason Botts takes a home run hack at a big breaking ball. That was a slow curve. He had been throwing a lot of hard sliders, but that a slow curveball, and Botts way out in front of it, swinging and missing. No balls and 1 strike. Sear, a good fastball, a curveball. He's got a split finger and a screwball. Ooh, there's the fastball outside corner. I'd like to come back and face that pitch. Botts batting right-handed tonight. All lefty rotation right now, or at least the RoughRiders will see all left-handers in this particular series. Here's the 0-2 to Botts. Checks the swing on a curveball low. Home plate umpire Chris Griffith appealing that at first base umpire Matt Kaler. He says he does not go around. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Frisco. See Jason Botts hitting right-handed, where he's hit really well this year. A .348 hitter right-handed. Hands high. Here it comes. Swing and a foul back. Ooh, he got a fastball up, let her high, and he went chasing after it. Trying to get on top of it. Had it timed well. Jason has not had a problem lately timing pitches. He takes his helmet off, wipes his brow a bit. Botts right-handed, a .348 hitter. Only 1 of his 8 home runs have come from this side. Here's the pitch. Curveball inside. He might have hit him, and it does hit him. Right in the foot on 1 ball and 2 strikes. Botts was frozen at the plate. Had no fear with that ball coming right at him. And he takes his base. A leadoff runner here to begin the 6th inning for the Frisco RoughRiders. As Jason Botts gets hit by that pitch. Botts getting hit on a 1-2 pitch. And now stepping to the plate. Here comes Big Mac. Marshall McDougal is 1 for 2 tonight. A ground ball to third. He also had a base hit into center field the 2nd time. Nick Beerbroad and Eric Sear going tonight. The lefty Sear throws a fastball strike to McDougal. Talking with Tyrone Boykin before the ballgame. He's the manager for the Arkansas Travelers in his 2nd year with Arkansas. And he said, boy, Eric Sear has just been absolutely outstanding this year. Just can't say enough about him. 6'4" left-hander, 200 pounds. Runner at first. Here's the pitch to McDougal. It's a changeup, and Big Mac is out in front, fouling a pitch off. Fouling it back, 0-2. Last year, Eric Sear, splitting the year between Arkansas and Chattanooga. We told you about that story. Last year for Arkansas, Sear was 6-6 with a .496 earned run average. In 103-plus innings, he had allowed 91 hits. Here's the pitch. Big Mac, ground ball, shortstop way, should be 2. Gomez shovels to Turner at second for 1. The relay's in time. A 6-4-3 Dipperowski, and Big Mac has hit into a double play. First double play the Frisco RoughRiders have hit into tonight. They have turned 1. That was an 8-3 double play a little bit earlier. Assist. Rick has it oriented out in center field. Quickly 2 outs now. Lots of race there at second base. Here's Gonzalez, who extended that big hitting streak to 14 games in his last at bat with a line drive to right center field. That's where he's been going mostly. He rarely pulls the ball, or at least hasn't during the streak. He'll go up the middle in the other direction. He's seeing the baseball out over the plate about as well as he can right now. Sear pitching him away, and Gonzalez swinging at a changeup and fouling it back. No balls and 2 strikes. Sear's changeup reminds me of a guy that played about 5 years ago and went to the Mike Marshall School of Baseball. Eric Kabinka, Steve Luber, the Rough Rider pitching coach, knows really well. There's a pitch that is high for a ball. Kabinka, though, had a screwball-type changeup. Mike Marshall, I believe, still runs some ads. I think he's got a baseball school. I think I saw an ad recently in either a Baseball America or a Sports Weekly or something like that with Mike Marshall's School of Baseball. You folks that have kids that play on these 2 teams and know a lot about that probably are familiar with the Mike Marshall School of Baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Marshall was the pitching coach down at St. Mary's in San Antonio for a while. This ball's hit well to right field. Good carry on it. Espino back to the wall. It might go, and it is off the top of the wall. Gonzalez around second. He puts on the brakes as Espino gets it in quickly. A 2-out double, and Gonzalez narrowly missing his first home run on the short porch in right. A high fly ball into right field. That ball was hit well, and as well as Gonzalez has been hitting pitches away, pitchers in the Texas League continue to work him outside. Nobody pitches this guy in, or at least they haven't been, and Gonzalez has been feasting on guys trying to work him away. And again, he goes the other direction. It turns into a double this time. Yet another double for Gonzalez. His 13th double of the year. He's got another 2-hit game during the streak. My, oh my, is Gonzalez hitting well. Boy, Jeff Smith said he hasn't seen a guy with this much timing in a long time. Gonzalez, Smith said, the veteran catcher, his teammate said, he's got everything working right now, Scott. Look at him. Watch him bat. Super hot. It's just carried over from the spring, he said. He just hit so well in spring training. Smith was impressed with him in spring camp. Runner at second now, and 2 outs. Titus Meadows, who was responsible for the game's 2 runs for the Rough Riders. He had a solo shot in the second and a sac fly in the 4th. We are tied at 2 in the top of the 6th inning. Each team now with 5 hits. Oh, that fastball almost hit him. Smith also talking about Gonzalez's rhythm. He said he's got 2 good things working for him right now, Scott. The rhythm, Gonzalez's rhythm, and his pitch selection. Both have been exceptional during this 14-game hitting streak. Lowe set, a look to second base. Here comes home, and his fastball is swung on and tapped at the plate. Took a little off of that one, and now the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Titus Meadows. Meadows trying to get back in full force, a very confident individual. But Gonzalez now with another 2-hit game. You take a look at this streak that now spans 14 games. Changeup by Sear. He's gone to that changeup now. This being the 3rd time through the order against this guy. He's throwing a lot of changeups in fastball counts, and now the count is 3-1. But Gonzalez, in his 14-game streak, has 9 multi-hit games. This ball has popped up in the left center field. Pretty easy play for Gorneau. goes over toward the gap in center field and makes the catch with two hands to end the inning. So a double with 2 outs for Gonzalez. He's got another 2-hit game working tonight. And we will head to the bottom half of inning number 6. We are deadlocked at 2 on the ticket.
7-Up wants me to introduce their newest soft drink, D&L, on the radio. How am I supposed to introduce you to something you can't even see? Don't matter how energizing me beloved green D&L may be. If I can't give you one, then I'm no better than a smarmy two-faced apple polisher. Crappy idea, this radio. Of course, they say to me, Willie, a beautiful wordsmith such as yourself can paint a glorious portrait of the magnificent green color of D&L with the indescribable great taste. Well, they are paying me, so here goes. Imagine a beautiful field with baby goats and wormwood. Off in the distance, we see a powerful waterfall of green D&L cascading down on me, a 2-foot-tall leprechaun, naked as the day he was born, just soaking up the revitalizing taste of the green D&L. Better get a frame for that work of ours, laddies, because it's going to stay with you for a fortnight.
D&L, with a powerful boost of green, the newest soft drink from the makers of 7-Up. D&L, believe in green.
Time to wake up. Time to put on the mesh. Time to fast break to your seat. Time to post up for a buzz. Time for some hang time with friends. Time to get in the zone. Time to make free throws not so free. Time to light it up. Time to remind that guy about his air ball. Time for a 12-ounce timeout. Time for everyone to be the sixth man. Time for the big men to shake hands and the ref to toss the rock and the kid to find a home. And then all of a sudden, just like that, it's game time. Game time, Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, Houston, Texas.
You're tuned to Rough Riders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
We continue going to the bottom half of inning number 6 as Nick Beerbroad back out there on the mound for the Rough Riders. Going out there for inning number 6 of work. We have played 5.5 here. We are tied at 2. Nothing has been decided to this point. Meat of this order, though, coming up, Nick Gorneau, Dallas McPherson, and Jeff Mathis. Part of the order that has 3 of the Arkansas Travelers, 5 hits. Right-handed hitting Gorneau swings to the first pitch that comes at him, and he fouls this one off. Straight back. Beerbroad getting ahead at 0-1 now. But Beerbroad, in that last outing against Midland, took the loss. I was talking with Nick after that last outing. Telling you what he thought about it. This ball's hit well, though, to right field. Patrick Boyd going back. He might run out of room. Back toward the wall. He leaps. He's got it. Toward the Exxon sign. A leaping catch in right field by Patrick Boyd with his back to the wall and makes the catch. That ball just kept carrying to right. It's a very short porch. If you hit a ball to right field in this facility, that ball's got a chance not only to hit the wall but get out of here. It was a deep drive off the bat of Nick Gorneau, who now is 1 for 3 with a double. Speaking with Beerbroad, though, he's talking about the first time having to pitch in the rain. Back at the Dr. Pepper 7-Up ballpark, there's a pitch that stays wide for a ball. So that's the first time ever in his pro career that he's had to pitch in the rain. 1-0 pitch. Next slider is fouled at the plate. McPherson just barely getting a piece of it. Big Mac for the Arkansas Travelers is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and he popped to center his last time, so he's 0 for 2. Dallas, a .298 batter this year, 1 for 5 with a solo bomb in yesterday's ball game. He also struck out twice, 3 for 16 against Tulsa, and waves through a slider, and he's down to the count now at 1-2. Beerbroad also talking about how difficult it was to actually see the plate during that game. It was so muddy. This is fouled off. Remember, that was when the rain was really coming down at the Dr. Pepper 7-Up ballpark against Midland. A contest that saw Frisco score just 3 runs in a game that took about 3.5 hours to play after a 1-hour rain delay. A delay of the start time, by the way. They were scheduled to start at 7. Ended up getting it going about 7:50. 1-2 from Beerbroad to McPherson. Just misses. Beerbroad glaring into the home plate umpire, wanting that pitch to be called a strike. And the former big leaguer says, "Where was it, Mr. Griffith?" 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here he comes, lefty-lefty matchup. And the pitch to Dallas. Hit off the fist, popped up shallow center. Rim of the infield. Jason Bourgeois gives way to the shortstop, Drew Meyer, and he makes the catch. There are 2 down very quickly here in the 6th inning. So Beerbroad starting to really get into a groove. He now has retired 6 in a row, going back to inning number 4 when he gave up a run. Randy Johnson tonight throwing a perfect game. We're just getting that announcement for Arizona. Obviously, he has pitched well throughout his career, coming up with the first perfect game of the year. Here's the pitch. Line drive toward right center field, hit well. Asadorian going back. This thing's going to clang off the base of the wall. Asadorian plays it well, but bobbles it just shy of the warning track. He had a shot at Mathis going into second base, but after he dropped the baseball, that shot flew out the window. But that's going to be a double for Jeff Mathis. That comes with 2 outs here in the 6th inning of a 2-2 ball game. Well, the scoreboard says it's 4-2. It is the 2-2 ball game, I think. The scoreboard says 4-2, but I think it's 2-2. I'll have to get that corrected. Yeah, they've changed it now. Here comes Tim Ireland out of the dugout, and he's going to conference with all of his infielders now. We have not had action down in the Frisco Rough Rider bullpen to this point, unless I have missed somebody down there. But going back to Beerbroad's last outing in the rain, he said he felt pretty good. Really said he needs to try to get his breaking ball over a little bit more consistently. So the 4 straight balls towards the leadoff guy late in the ball game really sort of disgusted him, really bothered him a little bit. He had thought about it for a little while after that outing. High center look to second base. Beerbroad comes home with a fastball and a little bit low. Looks to be knee-high for a strike, but home umpire Chris Griffin says, no, that's been low all night long. Elwood has popped out, and he's grounded out tonight. He's 0 for 2. 342 batter, and boy, he has been playing well. He was batting where Kochman had been batting before they sent him up to play with the Angels over there in California. 1-0 is the count right now with 2 down. Well, the scoreboard trying to get the crowd into it right now. They've been relatively subdued. This is a tie contest as we play here in the bottom half of inning number 6. Tyrone Boykin, coming into the game, said that Eric Steer has a much tighter breaking ball than he did last year. Very pleased with that. Nick Beerbroad wanted to get more bite and wanted to locate his curveball a little bit more and his slider. And here's the pitch. Fastball off the fist of the right-handed hitting Mike Elwood. He pops it foul right side. It's into the crowd. And Beerbroad sees the count go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Out there on the mound with 2 outs. A double for Mathis with 2 down. Beerbroad has given up 4 doubles in this ball game. 4 of the 6 traveler hits have been 2-baggers. 2 of them came in the 4th that played to the game's 2nd run that tied it. Here's the pitch. Off the fist, he popped him up the infield. Beerbroad pointing to the sky. Jeff Smith, the catcher, off with his mask, just to the left in foul territory of home plate, makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Nicely done, Jeff Smith. Beerbroad going over there to pick up the mask for him. Nicely done indeed. It's a nice gesture for Nick. And that will conclude the 6th inning. We are deadlocked at 2. No runs, a 2-out double for Mathis. They leave him stranded out there. And we go to the 7th. It's the Frisco Rough Riders 2 and the Arkansas Travelers 2.
Not all LASIK centers treat you the same way.
I first tried a competitor. I felt like I was on a cattle drive. I was pushed through. There was no personal attention given, like I was just another number.
Then Kelly Wood went to the Key Whitman Eye Center.
From the second that I walked in, the treatment that I received was so phenomenal. It was personal attention. People were smiling. It put me so much at ease. It was great.
And Kelly is just as happy with the results.
I have 20/15 vision, and everybody that I've sent there has 20/20 vision or better. And not only that, but they had a great experience through the whole thing.
Key Whitman Eye Center treats you right. Dr. Whitman has been named D Magazine's best LASIK doctor twice. And now Key Whitman is offering Zyoptics LASIK by Bausch & Lomb. Find out the big difference between Zyoptics and regular LASIK at the next free seminar. Call 214-220-EYES.
It is a night and day difference.
214-220-EYES.
Brian Estridge here, along with the number one mortgage originator in the state of Texas, Rodney Anderson of CTX Mortgage Company. With the new year now, Rodney, folks are thinking about purchasing a new home. What's the first step they need to take?
Well, Brian, all people have to do is pick up the phone and give us a call. We can have you pre-approved today and out shopping for your new or existing home tomorrow. Whether you want to go up in price, go down in price, or just get it out of that apartment complex, give me a call today. My number's 972-985-5208. Whether you have good credit or you've had credit issues in the past that we just need to work through, our job is to say yes. Let's see what we can do. Again, 972-985-5208. That's 972-985-5208. Or 24 hours a day, you can go to RodneyAnderson.com.
Call in today with no obligation to discover the Rodney Anderson difference. 972-985-5208. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at RodneyAnderson.com. That's RodneyAnderson.com. CTX Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender.
You're listening to Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
Here we go. Rough Riders looking to start a rally here in the 7th inning of the tie ball game. Tied at 2, 5-6. 5 hits for the Frisco Rough Riders, 6 for the Travelers. Here's the wind of the pitch by Eric Sear. And the first pitch is popped up, foul territory. Third baseman McPherson in toward the first row. Who's going to get it? McPherson leaning in, and he can't get it. It's a row back. McPherson leaning over a guy with the red collared shirt on, and a few of the fans having a few words with him now. Dallas says, forget about it. No balls and 1 strike. In case you didn't hear, though, Randy Johnson throwing the first perfect game of the season. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. Talking, actually, speaking of perfect games and no-hitters, we actually had a chat with, here's the pitch, inside and 2 tights to Patrick Boyd. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Boyd. Had a chat yesterday with Nelson Liriano, who actually broke up a Nolan Ryan no-hitter in 1989 in Toronto with 1 out in the 9th. They came up with a triple against him on a 2-strike pitch. Nelson saying that, he was geared up to hit that fastball. He said the fastball was really working, but what was really working was Nolan's breaking ball that day. The curveball was something else. Boyd, he swings and cranks one on the line, left side, and it is well foul. That's as hard as Boyd can hit one. Here comes 3-2, and Sear might have him set up for that changeup. Changeup has really worked so far this season for Sear. He's had a good one. Here's the wind of the pitch by Eric. Changeup pull, third base way, right at McPherson. He's got it, throws over. It is in time. 1 down now for Rick Asadorian. But Liriano said, if Nolan in that instance had thrown me a curveball, I was done. He was geared up to hit the fastball with 2 strikes. Ryan threw a fastball, and Liriano shot it down the right side for a quick double in Exhibition Stadium back in 1989, spoiling a no-hit bid there. And Ryan ending up with a career-high 7 no-hitters. That's the most no-hitters anybody has ever thrown. And speaking of perfect games, 2004, the anniversary of Kenny Rogers' perfect game over at the ballpark in Arlington. 0-1 pitch. And Asadorian looks at a changeup that's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rusty Greer coming away with a tremendous headlong diving catch to win the ball game. While that was a good catch, the catch that Nick Gorneau made in center field tonight was a much better catch. That was a tremendous catch by the Arkansas center fielder in that Frisco 3rd inning that robbed Drew Meyer of extra bases with a 3-ball and 2-strike count. The count now to Rick is 2 balls and 1 strike. We play with a tie ball game. Eric Sear continuing to throw right now. I told you that Tyrone Boykin very pleased with what Eric has done. One of his better pitchers this year, if not the best pitcher on this pitching staff at this point. This is a pitching staff for Arkansas that is right in the middle of the pack in terms of ERA. 4.24 in the ERA column. They've given it 26 home runs. That's right in the middle of the pack. He struck out 245 batters. It's not all that many in comparison. A couple of other stats. Round Rock leads the league in strikeouts. He struck out 287 guys. Frisco and Round Rock, by the way, tied with the most strikeouts of any club with 287. There's a pitch on 3-2 that's wide. A curveball missed, and there's a one-out walk for Sear. We have had action down there in that Arkansas Traveler bullpen. We'll see if Boykin wants to go to that pen. Warming up down there for the Arkansas Travelers was Cliff Smith, I believe. There's Cliff warming up down the bullpen right now. One down. Here comes Jeff Smith, the ninth place hitter in the order. And there's a throw to first base. And Azadorian is back. First baseman Mike Elward is not holding him on conventionally. He's taking really an early start. He's probably a step or two off that first base bag in front of the runner. Even with the bag. Tied at 2. Arkansas is out. Hit him 6-5. Here's the pitch to Smith. Big changeup. Swung on and missed. Snap throw to first base. Azadorian back standing. Mathis snapping a throw down to Elwood at first. Azadorian was not fooled. He was ready for it. Former first-round pick. Rick with decent speed. He's only got 2 steals, though, this year with 1 out. And a pretty good hitter up at the plate. This might not be a bad time to send a runner. Big lead out there by Azadorian. This might be the pitch to go on. However, it's 0-1 the count. Ideally, you'd like to run 1-1 or 2-1. Perhaps 2-2. 3-2 for sure in this situation. Jeff Smith, the Naples, Florida native, who's 1 for 2 tonight. A solid single to center, one of Frisco's 5 hits. Standing in there, Sears slide step. Here's the pitch. Off the fist, pops up. Third base way, foul territory. McPherson quickly running out of room, moving hard to his right, and it bounds 3 rows back. Out of play. Azadorian walking with 1 out. Facing Eric Sear. Nice hand. A couple of folks down there that made a pretty good catch down there. Sear, though, not a power pitcher. He's got to get ground balls. Before, he was a power pitcher with his fastball in the mid-90s. And now that fastball's around 87 to 90, and he's got a tighter breaking ball than he had last year, and the changeup has been superb tonight. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball right side, a base hit. Azadorian to second. He stumbles rounding the bag as Espedo comes up with it very quickly and rifles it back into the infield. And Jeff Smith's got a 2-hit game working, upping that .339 batting average. And now we go back to the top, and it wouldn't surprise me if Boykin goes to the bullpen now. They have had action down there with Cliff Smith, the 24-year-old from Massachusetts, who was acquired back in 2002 by the Angels. And here comes Boykin. Now he comes out of the dugout. As we go back to as we go back to action at the top of the order, Boykin is going to make the change right now. He's going to the bullpen. Here comes Smith. Eric Sears' night has come to a close. We'll take a break and continue. Frisco and Arkansas tied at 2 with 1 down here in the top of the 7th. There's runners at first and second for the RoughRiders. And Sears gets a nice hand. We'll take a break and continue on the ticket.
At Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket, we've done the math, and we believe this is our 6th annual summer bash.
Number 6!
Just like the Rangers, we've sold the naming right. And now it's the Dodge Chrysler Jeep Summer Bash at Lloyd Park on Joe Pool Lake in Grand Prairie. Saturday, June 12th from noon till 9. Thanks to our sponsors, you'll get in free. Live broadcast with all the ticket guys, sand volleyballs, babes in bikinis, and cold beer. The Ticket Time Wasters finish off a summer Saturday at the lake, Saturday, June 12th. Brought to you by AT&T Wireless and Sports Radio 1310. The Ticket. www.theticket.com.
My name's Andy, and I didn't want to admit it at first, but I have a problem.
Go ahead, Andy. We're all here for you.
Hi, Andy. Well, it's like this, Doc. Like I'll be at work, and all of a sudden, it's all I can think about.
Go on.
Like just the other day in a meeting, I thought I heard the roar of the crowd. See, Did you guys just hear that?
Hear what, Andy?
Never mind. The sounds aren't the worst of it. 2 days ago, I was at lunch with my boss, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a line drive screaming right at me. So I dove out of my chair, barehanded it, and threw it to first.
What happened then?
Well, I took out 2 old ladies in the table next to me and ruined a brand new suit.
When was the last time you went to a Frisco RoughRiders game?
At least a month ago, Doc.
Andy, you know as well as I do that you can't quit cold.
Yeah, you're right, Doc.
Of course I am. Now, I suggest you buy a 7-game weekend plan today.
I'll never let it happen again, Doc. Thanks.
Riders Jump In 7-game plan still available. Call 972-731-9200 or visit www.ridersbaseball.com today.
We're bringing back dead celebrities one toe tag at a time in the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes, brought to you by Central Yamaha in Plano and Central Polaris in McKinney.
I guess I'm dead in the mackerel now.
Listen to Dunham and Miller every morning at 7:35 for a clue to the identity of a dead celeb. Then listen again later in the day for another clue and your chance to guess the stiff. Get it right and you win. Death is inevitable. And so is the spring contest from The Ticket. www.theticket.com. This is Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on The Ticket, 1700 AM, KTBK, Sherman Denison.
Back to action we go, and we go to Cliff Smith out of the bullpen here. Smith coming on to spell Eric Sear, who goes 6 in the 3rd innings, and he leaves with runners at 1st and 2nd. And here's Jason Bourgeois, the leadoff hit on the ball game, and he pops it up, right side, spinning in foul territory. Espedo reaches the front row, and it's 4 rows, banging onto an empty aluminum bleacher. So there is strike 1. Azadoring with a 1-out walk. He's at second base. Jeff Smith at first. There's 1 down here in the Frisco RoughRiders 7th inning. We're tied at 2. We are deadlocked at 6 in the hits column. And this is a ballpark that saw the Frisco RoughRiders have good success last year, but they also saw Spike Lundberg blow a save midway through the season. Boy, that was a big save. That point. Only one that he blew last year. 0-1 pitch. Booze. Swings late on a fastball from the right-hander and pops it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Smith, right-hander, 6'6", 205 from Haverhill, Massachusetts. Last year split the year between Rancho Cucamonga and Arkansas. Comes out of the bullpen for these guys. Smith so far this year had pretty decent numbers in the 0-2 pitch, and Smith going to step off here, look to second base, no throw. This is the 13th time they've called upon him. He's gone 15 in the 3rd innings with the ERA at 9.39. He's given up 16 runs, all earned. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, hit well to left field, in the air, going back to left fielder Duncan, but he's there, and he's calling, and he makes the catch. Lou's gone on an 0-2 pitch. He is 0 for 4 tonight. Continuing to struggle at the plates. Just 6 for his last 37 now. Bourgeois is. He's not very selective. He's found himself down to the count. He swung at an 0-2. He 1-1 pitch his first at bat. An 0-1 pitch. He swung at the first pitch in the 5th. And he swings at an 0-2 pitch here in the 7th. He's not seen very many pitches. He's only walked 3 times in his last 19 games. There's Drew Meyer, who's 0 for 3 tonight, but got robbed in the 3rd. Swings and hits 1 deep to right field. First pitch. Espedo goes back. He looks up, and Drew Meyer has hit the long ball. It's goodbye. And the Frisco RoughRiders have a 5-2 lead. Meyer got all of a fastball on the first pitch. He says goodbye here in the RoughRiders 7th, and Frisco's got a 5-2 lead. And Clifford Smith gets rocked early on in this ball game. My, oh my, was that a big blast. You knew it was gone. It was halfway up the screen in right field. And Jason Bunch has got to follow that act. Golly, are you kidding me? A 3-run blast by Meyer his second homer on the road trip. Tim Ireland said that he'd rather see Meyer hit the ball up the middle and the other way. And I've got to tell you what, I don't mind seeing him pull some pitches, especially when he hits a 3-run jack. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Botsy. He hits one deep on a line. Right field. This one might go. Goodbye. Back-to-back jacks in the Frisco 7th. First Meyer, now Botsy, and Tim Ireland grinning ear to ear. Can't believe it. Clifford Smith has seen the Frisco RoughRiders in a matter of 3 pitches take a 4-run lead in the 7th, and it's 6-2 Frisco. Time is going to be called, and at this rate, at about 9:20, we're going to have a 15-2 edge. Jason Botts has now gotten the league lead in home runs with 9 bombs this year. D. Brown has been upstaged on his own turf the last series, seeing Botsy tie him, and this ball is cranked down the left field line in the corner, leaning Duncan. He can't get it. It's going to 2 off the wall. McDougal around first. He's on his way to second, and as fast as these hits are coming, we can't even get our scorebook filled out. I'm still waiting to fill in the diamonds from Meyer's big blast. Boy, it's not taking long. Here comes the pitching coach out of the dugout. He's motioning for somebody in the bullpen. By my account, Smith has thrown 5 pitches here. And has he gone to the bullpen already? Or was he motioning for somebody to get loose as he was coming out of the dugout? My, oh my. Meyer with a 3-run bomb as Smith comes on in the 7th inning, and he plays Azadorian, Jeff Smith, and himself with a huge blast in the short porch. But I got to tell you, that ball would have left any yard. That thing still looked like it was rising as it left. Then Botsy followed with an even harder laser beam shot. The wall is about 15 feet high in right field, and I think Bott's shot got about 20 feet off the ground and found its way into the screen out there. That chain link fence, it barely cleared. Back-to-back jacks here in the Frisco 7th. And that, I believe, is the second time that Frisco has gone back-to-back this year. Here is Edgar Gonzalez, who has 2 hits again tonight. Runner at second base, that's McDougal. We've got ourselves a 6-2 game right now, folks. Here's the set and the pitch. Capper, third base way, charging to his left. McPherson, he's got it. Side-on throw to first, low, and it's not dug out by Elwood. It bounces past him. McDougal around third. He comes in to score, and the Frisco RoughRiders have a 7-2 lead here in the 7th inning. Boy, the crowd here in Arkansas is getting restless, and I can't say that I blame them. That will be an error on the third baseman, McPherson, who had time to set, sidearm, but he threw it low to Elwood. This is the 9th hit of the bat already. My goodness. A flurry of runs for the RoughRiders here. And Smith now has been greeted with back-to-back home runs. Clifford now has given up 4 homers this year in a span of 15 2/3 innings. He's gotten just 1 out. This is the 6th hitter that he's facing, a guy that has already hit a home run in this game. Pitched wide for a ball. The catcher, Mathis, thinks about snapping a throw down to first base. Gonzalez is back. Boy, that's going to charge into this crowd, didn't it? That did not take long. 7-2 Frisco. There are 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first in the pitch. This ball is hit high in the air left field. Backing out, and it's Duncan. It's got a chance. Warning track, and he makes the catch. Meadows gets under it and hits it toward the warning track. Deepest part of the ballpark. and he hit that one well, just got under it, and that will conclude the Frisco 7th. A 4-run 7th inning. The Rough Riders get 4 hits. They leave a man aboard, 1 error in the inning. Back-to-back jacks by Meyer and Bonds. And we head to the bottom of the 7th. A 5-run 7th for Frisco, and Frisco's got a 7-2 lead on the Ticket.
Hey, baseball fan person, after a night of slumber, dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, Hot Sports Opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo, too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
Ever thought a minor league ballpark would have powerful big league connections? Serving 300 game night employees.
Joe, yeah, hey, it's Doug down behind the plate. There's a guy here who wants peanuts.
27 suites.
Hello, catering? We've run out of hot dogs.
2 bullpens. Start warming up lefty. And more than 400 phone lines.
Love this press box. I am so connected.
In fact, many big league facilities would extol the greatness of Dr. Pepper's 7-Up Ballpark thanks to its state-of-the-art connectivity provided by EADS Telecom. Proud sponsors and providers of telecommunications for the Frisco RoughRiders. Find out how the RoughRiders and 35,000 other businesses worldwide save thousands on phone service through IP telephony solutions from EADS Telecom. Call us at 1-800-468-3945.
Whoa, he really connected on that one.
EADS Telecom, connecting people, places, and technology.
It's the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes.
It's awful cold up here, man.
Listen to Dunham and Miller every morning at 7:35 for a clue to the identity of a dead celeb.
I listen to these guys all the time on 1700, man.
Then listen again later in the day for another clue and your chance to guess the stiff. Get it right and you win.
Oh, this is heaven. It's very cold up here.
It's the Stone Appliance Stiff Celebrity Sweepstakes. Brought to you by Central Yamaha in Plano and Central Polaris in McKinney on Sports Radio 1310. The Ticket. This is Frisco RoughRiders baseball on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket! The Frisco RoughRiders go back-to-back in the 7th inning. Back-to-back dingers. This ball's hit well to right field. Backing out, it's Patrick Boyd toward the corner, and it will hop off the base of the wall. Boyd playing it to the corner, played the carom nicely, and rounding first base, Carlos Duncan into second with a clean double. A leadoff double to lead off the bottom half of inning number 7 off of Nick Beerbroad, who throws the 79th pitch. He's looked pretty good tonight. Frisco still with a huge lead. It's 7-2 ball game. We have had some action as Travis Hughes has been warming. Might be a time where Travis want to make sure he is loosened. Here's Jason Espedo. He's the 8th position batter in this order as the RoughRiders go back-to-back with Meyer and Bonds in the top half of inning number 7, and they take a 5-run edge. It's 7-2. There's a fastball blown by Espedo for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Meyer, first pitch swinging, jumped all over a fastball and cranked it out of here. Here's the pitch. It is wide for a ball. Didn't even have time to talk about him. That's a really big swing that he put on that pitch. He got a pitch out over the plate. He looks like a power hitter right now. 2 big bombs on this road trip. This pitch is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Espedo going after a low fastball and fouling it back into the chain link fence. Actually, the chicken wire, I should say, more appropriately describe it. Here in Arkansas, a chain like chicken wire fence that goes from the bottom to the top. There's about 5 feet of chain link fence and nothing but chicken wire all the way to the top. 1-2 pitch. This ball's lined to right center field, past the leading Jason Bourgeois into the gap of base hit. Duncan around third, he scores without a throw. Boyd cuts it off the backhand, running grab, and will fire it to second base. And now a visit coming for Tim Ireland, and that might be it for Nick Beerbroad. Boy, Espedo really putting a good swing on that one. Comes away with the second hit tonight. He had a double to lead the third, and then was plated on an RBI ground ball by Galaspo. And we'll see what Timmy decides to do here. And he's asking for the baseball, and that's going to be it. Beerbroad throwing a total of 82 pitches in this ball game. And Espino with the RBI base hit comes up with his 20th RBI, making it a 7-3 game. Beerbott's gone very quickly in the 7th. And Travis Hughes comes in. 7-3, a 4-run edge for the Rough Riders, a runner at first base. And nobody gone here in the bottom half of inning number 7. We'll be back in 2 minutes as Riders baseball continues on the ticket.
Hi, this is Norm Hitzges. Tomorrow night, it's the Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket's T1 party at Lone Star Park. Let's take a look at the whole field. First up, it's that $13.10 admission, the key to the whole race. What I'm going to do is box that P1 Party Night 1310 admission with a free buffet, free drink, free program, free Lone Star Park ticket T-shirt. I'm going to put it all over my handicapping seminar with tips and a track pack that'll get you into Lone Star for your next visit. You can't lose this race. It's a lock. My only one of the night, by the way. So call 972-263-PONY and pony up for the P1 party at Lone Star Park with me, Norm Hitzges, and Sports Radio 1310. The ticket. And I'm off for the mutual window because I think in this first race...
The setting doesn't matter.
Try taking your wife to a fast food joint on your wedding anniversary and you'll find out that statement isn't true.
I can keep clients happy and sell prospects through email and the telephone.
Maybe, but will they have memories they'll take away forever thanks to your emails and phone calls? Memories are the key to any morale or culture-building event. Memories like cheering on the home team, catching a home run in a packed ballpark, and sharing laughs in a casual yet exciting setting that is the Frisco RoughRiders game. From the Dallas Morning News Corral in the outfield located in Power Alley to group seats surrounding the first-ever bullpen built right into the stands to the best party decks in all of sports. And brand new this year, you can even have a small private party in the covered wagon located above the seats on the third base line. Call 972-731-9200 to reserve your Frisco RoughRiders group outing today. Your key people will thank you, and you'll thank them later when their loyalty and dedication knocks the next big project right out of the park. Call 972-731-9200 today.
Frisco RoughRiders baseball exclusively on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket! A new pitcher for the Frisco RoughRiders is Travis Hughes comes into this ball game. The first pitch from Hughes is popped up behind the plate. Just Smith going to run out of room. And it is back on top of the awning. So, guys at no balls in 1 strike from Justin Turner. With Hughes coming in, the Frisco RoughRiders dip into the bullpen for the first time tonight. Travis from Beaver City, Nebraska, 6'5", 224. Born May the 25th, 1978. Here's the 0-1, and it's fouled away. Actually up and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Travis will come into this contest having pitched extremely well his last outing. Best I've ever seen him. Here's the pitch. Good splitty, and it's swung over the top of and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Travis. Boy, Tim Ireland dialing up the long ball this inning. Frisco getting 5 runs in the top of this frame on back-to-back dingers. Here's the pitch. Ooh, a check swing and a fastball tight to him. Boy, that surprised Turner. That fastball was on his hands very, very quickly. Now, Hughes was very tough, and as tough as any reliever has been this year against the Wichita Wranglers on Friday night. He entered in the 5th inning with 2 aboard, the bases loaded, 2 outs, got the next 3 hitters that he faced, sailed from that point, and here's the pitch with 2 strikes. Check swing, slided at it inside, and Jeff Smith sees him strike out, and he points the catcher's mitt back at Hughes, shaking his head. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's where it needs to be. And Smith, the old veteran catcher, turning and saying something to the home plate umpire, trying to snooze old Blue behind the plate. I'd like to see that, too, helping his pitchers out. 1 down, and we'll go to the top to Alberto Calaspo, who's 0 for 3 tonight with an RBI. Left-handed batter, fastball high. 1-0 to Alberto. But Hughes, in all in his last outing, pitched 4 innings, shutout baseball, allowing just 3 hits, striking out 6, and walking 1. It was his longest outing of the year, and his 6 strikeouts were a season high. Pitch, downing ball right side. Botts leans. It's off his mitt. Races over, picks it up. Hughes covering the flip, and he caught him. Oh, good recovery by Jason Botts. Moving to his right, he leaned. The ball kicked off his mitt, stuck in a very high surface here. He raced over, picked up an Easter egg out of hiding, it appeared, and then underhand tossed it to Travis Hughes, who was bananing up that first baseline. And there's the put out right there. Fielder's choice. And Galaspo is gone at 3-1. 2 outs now. With Espedo moving to second base on that play. Runner at second base, 2 outs. Frisco by 4. It's 7-3 Rough Riders here in the bottom half of inning number 7. Here's the first pitch. First ball swinging. Gomez hits one deep to right field. Ranging back. Boyd, he's got room. Back toward the Exxon side of the track. And he makes the catch going into a back pedal. So that ends the frame. Very quickly, Gomez is gone on the first pitch. And that concludes the 7th. Nicely done, Travis Hughes, to get the strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. Can't ask for better than that. He retires 3 consecutively. And this is the best Hughes has pitched since he came to Frisco on June the 1st and threw that complete game, the shutout. And we'll head to the 8th. It's the Rough Riders 7 and the Arkansas Travelers 3.
Before I had the procedure, I felt insecure and alone. I never thought all those horrible deposits would cause me so much anguish. I mean, I tried everything. Acupuncture, therapy, spin classes. But nothing could prevent them from getting under my skin. I was about to give up hope until my doctor told me about this new treatment called bankosuction. She said Texans Credit Union had this pain-free procedure that would suck out all those horrible banking experiences in no time. She was right. In just minutes, they'd completely removed all those cold tellers and stubborn loan officers that had plagued me for so long. Now, thanks to Texans Credit Union and their patented bankosuction procedure, I'm feeling more confident, adding a pool, and wearing my old bikini from college.
If you want more from your banking relationship, make the switch to Texans Credit Union. Just stop by or log on to texanscu.org.
Hey, sorry I'm late. Who's winning?
We're up by 3.
Sweet. Hey, when did that guy get traded?
Like 2 days ago. Don't you read the paper?
Well, I
Dude, Sports Day in the Dallas Morning News. You got to start reading it. Trades, scores, interviews, inside stuff you need to know.
Will it help me get a date?
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sports Day. Every day inside the Dallas Morning News and at DallasNews.com. Know the full story.
You're tuned to Rough Riders Baseball on the Ticket. 1700 AM.
Rich Fisher is coming into the ball game for the Arkansas Travelers as we continue on 1700 KTBK. The Ticket. We go to the top half of inning number 8. A new pitcher into the ball game for Arkansas. It gives us great pleasure to tell you that it's a right-hander. Second right-hander. We hope that he fares better. Well, Tyrone Boykin hopes that he fares better than the previous right-hander as Smith gets banged around for 3 runs, 2 home runs, a double, and he pitched 2/3 of an inning. Back-to-back jacks by Frisco's Drew Meyer and Jason Botts. Meyer has become a likely candidate to go yard. He's hit 2 home runs now on this road trip. Here's the first pitch to Patrick Boyd and Rich Fisher. That was a fastball off the plate. Comes back with another ball, and it's ball 2. 2-0 from Fisher. Rich, by the way, 6'3", 170. Boyd pops it up behind the plate. Jeff Mathis off of the mask. He looks toward the crowd, and it's back out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike now to the Frisco 7th position batter. He was 0 for 2 tonight. He got hit by a pitch in the 4th. Popped to center and grounded a third and a 3-2 pitch. Patrick, a .223 batter with 3 home runs and 13 runs batted in. He's got 6 doubles this year. Fisher throws a changeup. He telegraphed it, slowing his arm speed down, and the pitch just popped out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisher, 6'3", 170 from Riverside, California, 21st round pick in 2000. He played over in San Bernardino Junior College before getting drafted. Here's the pitch, just off the plate, and that is ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fisher, by the way, was a starter last year. Was a starter this year, actually. A starter until last week. Just getting the word from the media up here in Arkansas, Little Rock, as this pitch is fouled away. Nice play by somebody. Oh, it's Tyrone Boykin, the manager, that makes that play. So he was a starter until last year, and boy, was a top prospect going into last season. Fisher, by the way, wasn't getting a whole lot of attention. This ball is fouled away right back at us. as a shortstop at San Bernardino Valley Junior College. But, boy, his arm strength is fluid. Athletic actions prompted the Angels. And here's the pitch, 3-2, fouled away. Just getting a note handed to me. Irvin Santana, by the way, coming up from rehab in Mesa. He took Fisher's place in the rotation last week. Okay, that's it. That's what it is. Fisher took the mound immediately, but he tailed off in 2003 after working a system-high 176 innings last year. Called strike 3 on 3 balls and 2 strikes after Boyd fought off 2 tough pitches with 3-2 on the big board out there, and he goes down looking. 1 down, and here's Rick Azadorian, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a run scored. But Fisher's velocity tailed off in the low 90s, and it was simply average instead of plus. And the consistency of his changeup and his curveball kind of suffered as well. Mike Butcher was his pitching coordinator, helped straighten out his mechanics. And that was really the root of Fisher's problem. Was collapsing his delivery on his backside, causing him to kind of flatten out a little bit. And the first pitch to the 8th place hitter, Rick Azadorian, is a strike. Fisher over the top of the glove. The right-hander deals a breaking ball. Outside corner, swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Boy, does Fisher look good right here. Fisher, though, on the way to rediscovering his velocity and the sharpness on that slider in the Arizona Fall League before he was shut down with a tender elbow in the offseason. He's got to continue to develop, and this pitch is tight for a ball. Remember, he threw a lot of innings last year here at Arkansas. He was 5-11 with a 4.61 ERA in 154 innings in 2003. Baseball America advertises him as the 20th best prospect in the Angels system, and he brings a breaking ball tight. And Azadorian now sees the count go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield has sort of played straight away against the 8th place hitter. Azadorian has struggled lately. Just 3 for his last 37. Bounding ball, shortstop way. Cutting it off the third baseman, McPherson. Sets, throws sidearm. Long throw, and he got him. In play by the third baseman. Oh, that slow roller. He just cut in front of Gomez. Third baseman taking care of it. And the shortstop position, right along the grass and the dirt where they meet. Azadorian is out. He got robbed earlier. But it's a Rich Fisher pitching right now. And Fisher last year went into 2003 as the 8th best prospect in the Anaheim Angels system. But some arm problems have sort of bumped him down a bit. No balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. In talking to Rich last year, he was talking about how he had pitched a lot better than his numbers had indicated. Remember, I told you he was 5-11 last year, but he's a much better pitcher than that. There's a good changeup that is over but low to the left-handed swinging Jeff Smith, who has 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3. It is 7-3 Frisco. Frisco leading at 7-3 in the 8th with 2 outs, bases clear. Oh, good breaking ball, and Smith's way out in front. And it's 1-2. But he's got great mound presence. And he was working on his poise last year, and he's got good poise this year. Oh, 1-2, and he hit him right in the bag. And Smith glares out there at him, throws the bat aside, and he's talking smack now to the pitcher, Fisher. And we'll see what's going on there. Fisher barking some things back at Smith, and Jeff got hit right between the 2 and the 8 right there. That was a 1-2 pitch. Fastball plunked him right in the back. I've got to tell you, usually when a guy gets hit, it's very difficult to discern whether or not it's intentional or not. But that time, I've got to tell you, it looked like that Fisher was trying to throw at him. I've got to be honest with you. Maybe it was just by Smith's reaction. I don't know. But Smith takes his bag at first base in a 7-3 game of the Frisco RoughRiders, benefiting from back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning. First pitch to Jason Bourgeois is upstairs and tight. Booz is 0 for 4 tonight. Ground ball to third, a pop to right, a smash to second, and a pop to left field. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strikes. But it seemed like every now and then Fisher last year was giving up a Little bloop here, a little chink up there. And it really frustrated him. He talked about that in 2003. A breaking ball hit well to center field in the air. Nick Gorneau going back toward the light pole out there. And he makes the running catch just in front of the shell sign. Say that 2 or 3 times. Shell sign out there on the warning track. And that will end the 8th inning. Well, Deuce hits it well, but Gorneau finds it out there in right center field toward the short porch, and that will end the frame. The Frisco RoughRiders get a 2-out hit batsman, but that's it. They leave Smith at first base, and we head to the bottom half of inning number 8. It's the Frisco RoughRiders 7 and the Arkansas Travelers 3.
Red Stripe, it's beer. Beer for everyone except stupid people. Hooray, smart people. If you're a smart person, then drink Red Stripe. But if you're stupid, well, no Red Stripe for you, my poor stupid friend. You may ask yourself, am I stupid? Well, as long as you don't do stupid things when you drink, then you're not stupid. Stupid things while drinking include not drinking Red Stripe. Second is singing karaoke when you can't sing. That's stupid and annoying. But driving when you've been drinking, that's the stupidest thing you can do. What about stripping down to your red sash and doing the limbo? So that wasn't stupid. That was magical. Red Stripe, it's beer. Hooray, beer. And hooray, responsible drinking. Red Stripe is imported by Guinness Bass Import Company, Stamford, Connecticut.
What do you want when you gotta eat something? And it's gotta be sweet, and it's gotta be a lot, and you gotta have it now. What do you want? Lip smacking, whip backing, patty whacking, ink and knacking, silver racking, cowboy whacking, cracker jacking, cracker jack. Candy coated popcorn, peanuts and a brine. That's what you get in Cracker Jack.
You're listening to Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
How many of these games will that bump us up?
Yeah.
How many of these games we have to beat to put us in there?
We are back, and we are in Arkansas tonight, in Little Rock, Arkansas. Scott Garner back with you in the 7-3 ball game. The RoughRiders benefiting from 2 home runs in the 7th. A 3-home run game for Frisco as a club. Titus Meadows with an opposite field shot in the 2nd. And Drew Meyer, the first-round pick, the Charleston, South Carolina native, was 5'11", 202. The slash and dashing shortstop coming up with a second home run this road trip. And the first pitch from Travis Hughes is swung on and missed to Nick Gorneau. Gorneau tonight, 1 for 3 with a double. Wind up by Hughes. He kicks and comes home. His fastball is swung on and fouls off to the side of the hangover here. The overhang. And the count is now at no balls and 2 strikes. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Frisco RoughRiders. The Travelers, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 guys left the board. Talking with Travis, his stuff last time he pitched 4 days ago was absolutely unhittable. You couldn't lay a bat on it. He struck out 6, 1-2, in relief, slider just down. And by the way, Eric Thompson doing a complete game the other day. It was this guy, Hughes, Thompson's roommate, that threw the first complete game in RoughRider history last year. Fastball high and tight to Gorneau. That was not an intentional pitch. He was trying to paint the inside corner. As Gorneau, a plate diver, limboing out of the way of that thing. But Travis was very pleased with the stuff that he took out there. Said it was the best stuff he's had all year. Here's the pitch from Travis. Rares back, throws the fastball. 1-out smash right at Bourgeois at second base. Plays it around his knees. He's got it. Throws it first. And there's out number 1. Nice pitch by Travis Hughes. 4 in a row have been retired by Travis. And Nick Beerbrod stands to be the winner tonight. Beerbrod tonight throwing a total of 83 pitches in going 6 innings. He goes 6. He gives up 3 runs. All of the runs tonight earned. He gave up a total of 8 hits. And a lot of extra base hits tonight for Nick, but he scattered those. 4, 5 doubles given up by Mr. Beerbrod. No balls, 1 strike. McPherson. Hughes comes back. High leg kick. He rocks and fires. Slider down and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike from Travis. Travis Hughes, though, guy that has really pleased Steve Luber. There's a good changeup downstairs. Steve Luber's the pitching coach for the Rough Riders. Steve said that I love watching Travis. He's loved it the other night. Said he's very optimistic now. He wasn't all that high on Travis coming into the season, and he blows him down with a fastball here, swinging and missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McPherson expanding his strike zone, going after a letter-high heater. And the big left-hand swinging cleanup batter, who has struck out once and who's popped up and grounded out, swings and taps on that at home plate. Hughes getting called up by Smith, bounces out, throws, falling down to the ground, and he got him. Nice play by the Frisco catcher, Jeff Smith, who bounced out from behind home plate, charging for that baseball. He waved off Travis, fielded it halfway between home plate and the mound, barehanded, fell down to the ground and firing a missile strike over to Jason Budds. And McPherson is retired 2-3. 5 up and 5 down now for Travis, who's all of a sudden now the hottest reliever for the Frisco Rough Riders out of the bullpen. It's 7-3 Rough Riders as we play here in the bottom half of inning number 8. 4 outs to go. Here it comes. First pitch to Jeff Mathis is tight and low for ball 1. Well, Billy Sylvester, I believe, was down there warming just a second ago, perhaps. Ready to come in and knock down his 4th save. We'll see if that's who it was. Fastball tight. 2 balls, no strikes. Probably could use Travis for the remainder of this series. He only went 4+ innings last time. Hughes takes a big, deep breath out there, straddles the mound. He pitches quickly into the windup in the 2-0 pitch. Inside, he backed him off the plate with a good hard fastball. That was a 2-seamer. But Luber says, I love the deception with Hughes. The slower Hughes windup, the faster that he looks. He lulls hitters to sleep. They think it's coming at 85, and all of a sudden, that 93 mile-an-hour fastball turns into 98. And that fastball is tight, and he walked him on 4 pitches with 2 outs. First pitch, hitter to reach here. And we still have action down at Frisco Rough Rider bullpen at this point. We have ourselves a 7-3 ball game. Looking to see who's warming up down there for Frisco. Stephen Rowe actually warming up. Billy Sylvester not getting loose. Stephen Rowe down there warming up. Well, Luber also said that it's kind of going to be save specialist by committee here with Frankie Francisco playing big league ball up with Texas. Breaking ball off the plate for ball 1. Elward 0 for 3. Frankie Francisco had saved a league best at one point, but then had 7 saves on his docket, had the best ERA in the league, and the Rangers called him up about a week and a half ago, and the 1-0 pitch is high and above the letters. It's ball 2, and all of a sudden, Travis has thrown 6 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone as Jeff Smith goes out there to talk to him. But he just flat out blew it by some guys. And now Steve Luber's going back out to the mound right now from the dugout as Travis steps off the mound, picks up the rosin bag, and in disgust throws the rosin bag down behind the mound. And Luber's talking to him, talking about mechanics right now. It's like Travis had been speeding up his delivery just a little bit. Luber talking to him. But we did have a chance to talk to Travis Hughes after that big outing that he had. His fastball really felt good. Fastball location was tremendous. He was very pleased with that. But Travis's extension, he said Luber's also been helping with his extension, trying not to short on the baseball. Something that Chris Young, Rough Riders starting pitcher, has been working on. I said Luber back into the dugout. Here it comes on 2-0. Strike call, knee high, inside edge. 2-1 to Elward. A .342 batter at a good Tulsa series. A guy that started his 2004 campaign with a 9-game hitting streak. I said right-hander working with sleeves. Hughes brings a fastball to the plate, and that's a strike on the outside corner. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 men down. Frisco has out-hit Arkansas now 9-8. A 7-3 ball game as Rowe continues to loosen. No, now it's Sylvester warming up. It is Billy getting loose now. Maybe getting ready for the night. Changeup just wide. He brought home a Nolan Ryan-type circle changeup that started off the plate to the right-hander and broke almost back in far enough over that outside corner for strike 3. But home plate umpire tonight, Chris Griffin, says, nope, that was ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First baseman plays behind the runner. Runner breaks. Hard ground ball, second base way. This should end the inning. 3 hops to boost. He's got it. He throws in time. And the inning comes to a close, and the Frisco Rough Riders escape damage in the 8th. maintaining the 4-run edge. It's 7-3 in favor of Frisco, and we go to the ninth. The RoughRiders looking for more insurance on the ticket.
Solo Mexico, her voice soars above a sweet Spanish guitar. And the bit like Dr. Pepper, originality made her a star. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, salutes individuality, and gives life a personality. Be you, do what you do. Be you, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. And then we on a stage, a child came of age with a song of passion from the heart. And everyone could tell Ana Gabrielle was an original from the start. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, salutes individuality, and gives life a personality. Be you, do what you do. Be you, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Be you, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper.
Once upon a time, 3 bears moved out of the woods and settled for a condo in a pleasant neighborhood. But Mama Bear found condo life was not a bed of roses, because Baby Bear soon had his share of coughs and runny noses. She went to get some cough drops at the local mega store, but took so long to find them, she forgot what she came for.
This mega store is much too large.
The bear began to whine.
It takes an hour to park my car and 2 to stand in line.
The nearby corner drugstore was a disappointment, too.
The prices here are much too high. What is a bear to do?
Then Goldilocks, the landlord, offered up a wise suggestion.
My Kroger is the right store for value and selection.
She thanked her kindly for the tip and went that very night. And when she got to Kroger, she found everything just right. Kroger, right drugstore, right price.
This is Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket!
We continue from Little Rock, Arkansas. Ray Winder Field. The RoughRiders have a 7-3 lead, and Scott Snyder has come on to toss for the Arkansas Travelers in a 4-run game to begin the 9th inning. Rich Fisher pitching in that 9th inning, goes 1 inning, did not give up a run or hit, struck out 1. He is done. This is the 3rd reliever now for Tyrone Boykin. Snyder pitched here last year. First pitch to Drew Meyer is a ball. Swings and misses at a pitch. Big breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jason Bourgeois ending that 8th inning. Ball out to second base. And here's the pitch. It is low to Drew Meyer. 2 balls and 1 strike from Snyder. Snyder, right-hander, sinker slider guy, not an overpowering pitcher. That was a fastball that stays away. Well, I'd like a lot of these guys out of the bullpen for Arkansas. Even though Fisher was very impressive in the 8th. We'll see him later this series, no doubt. 3-1. Meyer swings and pops it up third base way, foul territory. McPherson coming over quickly, but he quickly runs out of room on the warning track, and it will kick on the concourse 5 rows back. So count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Drew Meyer, who went back-to-back. Meyer with a couple of guys aboard, and the game tied. 2 balls. It was tied at 2 with a big 3-run home run. And he swings and pops this pitch up. Pitch got in on his fist a little bit. And the third baseman, McPherson, back behind third base in fair territory, makes the catch. There's out number 1 for the RoughRiders here in the 9th inning. So Meyer's gone, and now it's Jason Botts. Meyer goes back to the dugout, 1 for 5, but he was robbed of a sure extra base hit in the 3rd and potentially his 6th run batted in early in the ball game. But he comes away with RBI 6, 7, and 8 in the 7th. And Jason Botts, who hit a home run last time against Smith, who came out of the bullpen and promptly gave a back-to-back home run, takes a first pitch strike. Eric Sear, the starter, goes 6 1/3. And right now, he stands to lose this game. Here's the pitch. Change up low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bonds with 1 down, bases clear in a 7-3 game. The Rough Riders have the edge. But Fisher allowing a walk and a single with 1 out. Seeing Drew Meyer come up with a 3-run home run, and the 2 runs that were plated on that 3-run bash, 2 of the 3 were charged to Sear, and that 4th was the go-ahead run, so he stands to be the loser tonight. He has not lost a ball game this year. 2-1 to Bonds. It's a changeup. Sear kind of drops his arm angle a little bit, giving away that changeup, and it's down and inside. Bonds takes ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jason Bonds, a .276 batter. Maybe that bat back and forth. 6'5", 252 from Paso Robles. Swings and misses it. A changeup letter high. He was going for the downs there. It's 3-2. Looking for a second homer tonight. Bonds with blast number 9 on the year. Leading the Texas League now in home runs. Snyder rocks and fires. 3-2. Big rip at a fastball right down Broadway. And Snyder's lucky to get that thing back. It was fouled away. Bonds taking a big hack at that pitch. Jason steps out of the batter's box, takes the batting helmet off, wipes his brow, gets back in, gets set, awaits a 3-ball and 2-strike pitch from Snyder. Over the head with the glove. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit high and deep to right field. It's on its way. It's going to go. And he lands, nixes it over the chain link fence. It is goodbye. The 4th homer for the Rough Riders, and for the first time in 2004, a 2-home run game for a Frisco Rough Rider. It's Jason Bonds getting a 3-2 pitch down Broadway, and he hits it a mile. 8-3 Frisco, and that ball was crushed onto Highway 620 beyond the chain link fence that stands as a barrier. That ball is hit over 400 feet, and McDougal takes a strike. Oh, my. Whoa, did he get all of that ball. Here's the pitch. McDougal sinks one over there to third base, charging McPherson. He's got it. Throws to first, and there's that number 2. Bonds with back-to-back dingers, and he hits another one left-handed. Homers 9 and 10 on the year. He has reached the double-figure marks in blast. 9 of the 10 have come left-handed this year. And here's Gonzo, who now has a 14-game hitting streak after a base hit in the 4th and a double in the 6th, and he takes strike 1. Outside corner, Snyder giving up the long ball, and Frisco has hit 4 home runs in this game. Here's the pitch. Oh, hard smash, third base way, and it's past the diving Rudy Gomez into left field, a base hit. A 3-hit game for Edgar Gonzalez, and as hot as Jason Bonds is, Gonzalez is even hotter. He has hits in 14 consecutive games, another 3-hit game for him, and Gonzalez is on at first with a 2-out hit here in the 9th inning. That, by the way, coming after he was 3 for 5 last night. Back-to-back 3-hit games for Gonzalez. That is his 3rd 3-hit game of the year. And now we've got a pinch hitter as Meadows is out of here after hitting a home run in the first at bat tonight. He finishes the night 1 for 3. Here comes Will Smith to hit against the right-hander. The Rough Riders are rolling, and they're rolling behind the long ball right now. 8-3, a 5-run 7th inning for Frisco has staked this Rough Rider squad to another big league late, giving the bullpen a bit of a rest as Travis Hughes came on in the 7th. He pitches the 8th. We're ready for Billy Sylvester in what will be a non-save situation tonight. And with a runner at first and 2 outs, Will Smith takes a strike of the inside corner. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. But another base hit for Edgar Gonzalez, and he joins the 3-hit parade for this club. Ball is popped up in the infield on 2-1. This is going to end the inning. Justin Turner coming in at second base. He's calling for it. Squeezes it with 2 hands, and that continues. to end up being announced. So that will end the ninth inning with the Frisco RoughRiders get the long ball from Jason Bodge. He works the count full and sends one high over the chain link fence and gone. The last player to do that for Frisco was Lance Nix. Nix didn't hit it any harder than Bodge did, I assure you. And we go to the ninth. 5-run lead for Frisco, 8-3. And you are listening to The Ticket.
There's nothing like catching a RoughRiders game under the lights at the Dr. Pepper 7-Up ballpark. But think about what it takes to power those lights. It's not as easy as just throwing a switch. The RoughRiders need to know that the power will be there, and that's why they rely on CoServe. CoServe is an electric cooperative established in 1937 and is the power provider to the Dr. Pepper 7-Up ballpark. And is a provider of reliable electric power to communities throughout the North Texas area. CoServe is owned by those they serve. They're a founding partner with the Frisco RoughRiders. And when you need a power hitter, they can get the job done. From lighting your house to powering the ballpark. CoServe can handle it all. Just visit www.coserve.com today and find out more about CoServe Electric. CoServe, a proud sponsor and power supplier to the Dr. Pepper 7-Up ballpark. It's CoServe.
With State Farm Car Insurance, you'll get more than just competitive rates. You'll get the unbeatable service that earned us the highest collision repair customer satisfaction among insurance providers. That's according to the J.D. Power & Associates 2003 Collision Repair Satisfaction Index Study. For competitive rates from a company you can trust, talk to a Texas State Farm agent today. For J.D. Power & Associates award information, visit www.jdpower.com.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is Frisco RoughRiders baseball on The Ticket, 1700 AM, KTBK, Sherman Denison.
Carlos Duncan leading us off as we head to the bottom half of inning number 9. Frisco with a 5-run lead, 8-3. Travis Hughes back out there. The RoughRiders about hit him 11-8. First ball swinging, Duncan can't find the fastball. Hughes throws a big power slider that stays down and outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Duncan. The Dominican, 26-year-old, 6'1", 207-pound right-handed batter, righty-righty matchup, holds the hands high from the right side. He swings and hits one off the end of the bat. A broken bat, line drive toward left center field. Rick Asadorian over toward the gap. He's under it now, and he makes the catch. And there's the first out here in the 9th inning in Frisco with 2 outs to go. Billy Sylvester, the save specialist now, warmed and ready to go. Steve Rowe was up and warming just a few moments ago. And right now, that might be Jason Andrew down there. We did not get a roster update. We have an old roster. I believe that's Andrew wearing number 16. It's got to be because I don't have the 16 on the roster. First pitch swinging, left-handed hitting. Jason Espedo fouls one away. And the count is 0-1. 1 down. The RoughRiders using the long ball tonight. 4 home runs. Jason Bodge has hit 2. Meadows with 1. And Drew Meyer with 1. Right-hander deals. Fastball inside corner. Where in the world was that pitch? It is ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the look in. Hughes warm, ready. Here he comes. This one on, popped away. Belt tie fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Travis. Hughes has been very, very solid for this club. I want to tell you that Edgar Gonzalez comes away with his 3rd 3-hit game. He had a 3-hit game last night. Frisco now as a team has 14 3-hit games. Backdoor Bender, called strike 3. Hughes has struck out Jason Espedo, and that's his 2nd strikeout of this ball game. He now has gone 2 innings and has allowed just 1 free pass in blowing through this Arkansas lineup. And here's the first pitch to Turner. The 9th place hitter takes ball 1. 1 out to go, 2 outs, bases clear here in the 9th inning. We'll see if Travis can finish this thing out in style. Outfield swung around to the left against the slash and dasher. Line drive left field. This should do it. Backing out on it, reaching up and making the catch is Will Smith, and that will end the ball game. And the Frisco RoughRiders have done it again with a long ball, and they win their 17th of the year. The final score, it's the Frisco RoughRiders 8 and the Arkansas Travelers 3. Frisco wins it tonight, and the totals come your way next. This ball game tonight brought to you by Red Stripe Beer. It's beer, red beer, very responsible drinking.
Red Stripe, it's beer. Beer for everyone, except stupid people. Hooray, smart people. If you're a smart person, then drink Red Stripe. But if you're stupid, well, no Red Stripe for you, my poor stupid friend. You may ask yourself, am I stupid? Well, as long as you don't do stupid things when you drink, then you're not stupid. Stupid things while drinking include not drinking Red Stripe. Second is singing karaoke when you can't sing. That's stupid and annoying. But driving when you've been drinking, that's the stupidest thing you can do. What about stripping down to your red sash and doing the limbo? So that wasn't stupid. That was magical. Red Stripe. It's beer. Hooray, beer. And hooray, responsible drinking. Red Stripe is imported by Guinness Bass Import Company, Stamford, Connecticut.
This is the Frisco RoughRiders postgame report from Mandalay Baseball Properties and Southwest Sports Group. A look back at the game with analysis and an update of the Texas League and Major League scoreboard. Now let's head back to the stadium for the voice of the Frisco RoughRiders, Scott Garner.
We are back, and we are live in Little Rock, Arkansas. The Frisco RoughRiders have downed the Arkansas Travelers to win 3 consecutive ball games now and stay 4 games back of either Tulsa or Wichita, depending on which one of those has won game number 1 of that set. We do welcome you back to Little Rock, Arkansas. Scott Garner back with you as Frisco has defeated the Arkansas Travelers by an 8-3 score. The RoughRiders get 8 runs on 4 home runs tonight, 11 hits, no errors, and they leave 7 guys aboard. The winning pitcher tonight for the Frisco RoughRiders was Nick Beerbrod, and he goes to 1-1. He pitches 6 strong innings, gives up 8 hits, and 3 runs. They were all earned. He struck out 3, and he walked 1. The losing pitcher tonight was Eric Sear, his first loss of the year. He goes to 4-1. He's 6-1, 6 in the third innings, I should say, 6 hits. He gives up 4 runs, and all 4 of those were earned runs. Strikes out a total of 1, and he allows just 1 free pass, but he does take the loss tonight, and he's now 4-1 on the season. 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left for Arkansas. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and 7 guys left aboard for Frisco. The post-game show comes your way next. We'll tell you how it all turned about tonight on the ticket.
To maintain the beauty of James Hardy siding on your home, you'll need to have the following tools. First, a large, comfortable couch, and of course, a big screen TV. Oh, and a huge plate of nachos, which if unavailable can be substituted with chips and any type of sour cream-based dip. Yes, those are the tools you'll need to keep your home's exterior looking great. That's because James Hardy siding requires so little maintenance. It doesn't rot, warp, or crack. It holds paint 3 to 4 times longer than wood, and it's non-combustible. Basically, it's free of the problems normally associated with wood. Yet, unlike vinyl, it's got the beauty and character of wood. And best of all, it comes with a 50-year limited transferable warranty. James Hardy Siding. Put it on your home and spend more time on your couch.
James Hardy Siding is the proud exterior of the Dr. Pepper 7-Up Ballpark, home of the Frisco RoughRiders. With James Hardy Siding, you'll get the charm and character of wood, along with the durability that comes with up to a 50-year warranty. Visit jameshardy.com for more information.
The healthcare professionals at Medical Center of Plano have provided quality medical services for North Texas for nearly 30 years. Conveniently located at Coit Road and 15th Street in Plano, Medical Center of Plano has continued to grow to meet the healthcare needs of the community with the most advanced technology and services available. Our dedicated staff cares for each patient with compassion and kindness. You don't have to wonder where to find the absolute best in healthcare for you and your family. Just look at Medical Center of Plano. Call now for more information. 972-596-6800.
Hey, baseball fan person. After a night of slumber, dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham and Miller. Weekday mornings, 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is, hot sports opinions, and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham and Miller and Gordo too. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
My name's Andy, and I didn't want to admit it at first, but I have a problem.
Go ahead, Andy. We're all here for you.
Hi, Andy. Well, it's like this, Doc. Like I'll be at work, and all of a sudden, it's all I can think about.
Go on.
Like just the other day in a meeting, I thought I heard the roar of the crowd. See, Did you guys just hear that?
Hear what, Andy?
Never mind. The sounds aren't the worst of it. 2 days ago, I was at lunch with my boss, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a line drive screaming right at me. So I dove out of my chair, barehanded it, and threw it to first.
What happened then?
Well, I took out 2 old ladies in the table next to me and ruined a brand new suit.
When was the last time you went to a Frisco RoughRiders game?
At least a month ago, Doc.
Andy, you know as well as I do that you can't quit cold.
Yeah, you're right, Doc.
Of course I am. Now, I suggest you buy a 7-game weekend plan today.
I'll never let it happen again, Doc. Thanks.
Riders Jump In 7-game plan still available. Call 972-731-9200 or visit www.ridersbaseball.com today.
Frisco RoughRiders Baseball, exclusively on The Ticket, 1700 AM.
The Ticket! Boy, we had a fun night at the ballpark tonight. Scott Garner back with you on the Frisco RoughRider postgame show. Frisco wins at 8-3, and they do it behind 4 big blasts. A 2-home-run ball game by Jason Botts. And it was Eric Steer, the left-hander, going for the Arkansas Travelers tonight, looking to increase that perfect 4-0 record. He was opposed by Nick Beerbrot, who got a second start for the Frisco RoughRiders in less than a week. Beerbrot losing to Midland, going 4 1/3 last time, but he would not be denied tonight. He pitched very, very well. And in that second frame, Titus Meadows, after Marshall McDougall and Gonzalez went down 1-2 against the starter Eric Steer. Steer had been perfect through 5 batters, but Meadows on an 0-1 pitch decided to give Frisco a big lead with a big swing. Then he takes strike 1 outside corner, knee high. Bat parallel with the ground. He's awaiting. This ball's driven toward right center field and hit well. Nick Gorneau goes back. This ball's got a chance to get out of here, and it is goodbye. Halfway up the screen in right center, a line drive shot that got out of here very, very quickly, and Meadows has his second dinger for the Frisco RoughRiders. He had 17 last year, now 19 over the last year and a half. So Titus Meadows made it 1-0 in favor of Frisco at that point. The RoughRiders third with Frisco leading at 1-0. Jeff Smith came up with a 1-out single. He was at first base, and Drew Meyer coming up with 2 outs, working the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he got a pitch that he could handle, but boy, listen to this. Here's the pitch. Runner breaks, pitches line towards center field, hit well. Gorneau going over toward the gap. He dives headlong, and he makes the snow cone grab. In front of the one-bank sign, a Superman headlong dive, and he snow cones it, hauling it in. Holy smokes. Meyer gets robbed again. My, oh my, this crowd loves it. I've got to tell you, that was a beautiful catch by the young center fielder. And he may get a curtain call. Look at these folks. They're on their feet. Boy, they were on their feet. And I'm telling you, that was a magnificent catch. Best catch that Phil Wilson, the Arkansas radio announcer, has seen this year. Best catch that I have seen in 2004. Meyer gets robbed of extra bases there in the 3rd inning. Well, in the Arkansas 4th, after Arkansas tied it with a run to the bottom half of inning number 3 with an RBI ground ball to short by Alberto Calaspo after the lead double by Espedo, it was Nick Gorneau leading off with a double. And then 2 batters later, Jeff Mathis would step to the plate. Ball game, but he swings and pops up the first pitch toward the right center field gap. Carrying well, Azadourian going back. He reaches the wall. He leans. He can't get it. It scrapes off the top of the wall. Rounding third. Here comes Gorneau. He's going to score easily. And Mathis strides into second base with a double. And Patrick Boyd plays it in very quickly as it bounded up the one-bank sign in right center. It's a very short porch out there. I thought Azadourian was going to have a chance there. He leaped to the base of the wall, and it kicked off the middle part of the wall, very tall wall here in Arkansas, and it turns into a run-producing double for Mathis, his 20th ribby of the year. So a run-producing double for Mathis at that point, and then, they decided to go to the bullpen. After Eric Steer goes 6 innings, Steer came on to pitch in the 7th inning, and in that 7th inning, he got Patrick Boyd on a ground ball to third, but then trouble started. And that trouble started with a 3-2 walk to Rick Azadourian. He was at first when Jeff Smith came up with a second hit of the game, putting runners at first and second. They go to the bullpen, and they went to the bullpen to Smith. Cliff Smith came on, a guy that had been beat around. His ERA was around 10 coming into the game. He had given up a couple of home runs so far this year in limited action. And Drew Meyer, the second hitter that came up there to face Smith with a total of 2 outs, he swung at the first pitch that he saw, and Meyer got robbed early in the game with an extra base hit. He would not get robbed at this point in his last 19 games. There's Drew Meyer, who's 0 for 3 tonight, but got robbed in the third. Swings and hits one deep to right field. First pitch, Espino goes back. He looks up, and Drew Meyer has hit the long ball. It's goodbye. And the Frisco RoughRiders have a 5-2 lead. Meyer got all of a fastball on the first pitch. He says goodbye here in the RoughRiders 7th, and Frisco's got a 5-2 lead. Boy, that ball was crushed, too. And at that point, the RoughRiders have a 5-2 advantage. It was increased with the very next hitter, Jason Botts, which tried to the plate for Frisco. And Botsy got a very good pitch to hit when he hits a 3-run jack. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Botsy. He hits one deep on a line. Right field, this one might go. Goodbye. Back-to-back jacks in the Frisco 7th. First Meyer, now Botsy, and Tim Ireland grinning ear to ear. Can't believe it. Clifford Smith has seen the Frisco RoughRiders in a matter of 3 pitches take a 4-run lead in the 7th, and it's 6-2 Frisco. 6-2 Frisco on back-to-back home runs. The RoughRiders weren't done in the 7th. A double by McDougal. He would later score on an error by Gonzalez, and that at that point made it a 7-2 ball game. And at the bottom of the 7th, they scored on a double and a base hit back-to-back against the starter Nick Beerbrot, who leaves after going 6 innings, giving up 3 runs on 8 hits, striking out 3 and walking 1. Travis Hughes came on to put out the fire in the 7th. Travis was perfect. He pitches 3 shutout innings going from the 7th to the 9th tonight. Gives up just 1 base runner. What came on a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs in the 8th, but no damage done. Hughes got the next guy. In the Frisco 9th against Schneider, Chris Schneider came on. He got the first guy that he faced. Frisco looking for some insurance, leading it at that point by a 7-3 score. Saw Jason Botts run the count full. He fouled off a very tough pitch, and then Schneider had to come back 3-2. Again, gets set. Awaits a 3-ball and 2-strike pitch from Schneider. Over the head with the glove. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit high and deep to right field. It's on its way. It's going to go. And he Lance Nixes it over the chain link fence. It is goodbye. The 4th homer for the RoughRiders, and for the first time in 2004, a 2-home run game for a Frisco RoughRider. It's Jason Botts getting a 3-2 pitch down Broadway, and he hits it a mile. 8-3 Frisco, and that ball was crushed. On to Highway 620 beyond the chain link fence that stands as a barrier. That ball is hit over 400 feet, and McDougal takes a strike. A huge shot there, and Jason Botts with a 2-home run game. Congratulations, Jason. He's our star of the ball game, and he allows the Frisco RoughRiders to win their 3rd consecutive contest. 8-3 the final score tonight from Little Rock, Arkansas. It maintains that 4-run deficit in the East. Remember, the top 2 teams in the Texas League playing each other tonight in the East, Tulsa and Wichita, with identical 20-17 record. So no matter what Frisco was going to do tonight, there was no way they could have cut the deficit. They will still be 4 back tomorrow, but will they be back of Tulsa or will they be back of Wichita? We'll check the scorecard next as the Riders postgame show continues on the Ticket.
Hey, baseball fan person, after a night of slumber dreaming of RoughRiders lumber, wake up and smell the coffee with Dunham & Miller. Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10. Tune in for Tell It Like It Is hot sports opinions and show up for some routine greatness from the great Gordo. It's a Grand Slam breakfast of champions, complete with ticket tickers at 10:30 and 50 past the hour. Start your day and touch all the bases with our boys Dunham & Miller and Gordo 2. Mornings on Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket.
The setting doesn't matter.
Try taking your wife to a fast food joint on your wedding anniversary, and you'll find out that statement isn't true.
I can keep clients happy and sell prospects through email and the telephone.
Maybe, but will they have memories they'll take away forever thanks to your emails and phone calls? Memories are the key to any morale or culture-building event. Memories like cheering on the home team, catching a home run in a packed ballpark, and sharing laughs in a casual yet exciting setting that is a Frisco RoughRiders game. From the Dallas Morning News Corral in the outfield located in Power Alley to group seats surrounding the first-ever bullpen built right into the stands to the best party decks in all of sports. And brand new this year, you can even have a small private party in the covered wagon located above the seats on the third base line. Call 972-731-9200 to reserve your Frisco RoughRiders group outing today. Your key people will thank you, and you'll thank them later when their loyalty and dedication knocks the next big project right out of the park. Call 972-731-9200 today.
You're tuned to Rough Riders Baseball on the Ticket, 1700 AM.
Time to check the scoreboard on 1700 KTBK, the Ticket, as we continue on the Frisco Rough Rider postgame show. Final score tonight, the Rough Riders have downed the Arkansas Travelers by an 8-3 margin to win their third consecutive ball game. That win now has Frisco at 17-21 as the Rough Riders inch ever so closer to that 500 mark. Riders now just 4 games back of that 500 mark in the Texas League East. And we'll see if they'll be cheering for Tulsa tomorrow or will they be cheering for Wichita tomorrow. The winner of the ball game between Wichita and Tulsa will own a single game edge in the Texas League East. Let's start with the Texas League tonight. Wichita, courtesy of a run in the fourth, they get 2 in the ninth, and they take a 4-1 win over the Tulsa Drillers. Wichita wins it 4-1, and that means that the Wranglers, behind a Chad Santos bomb, he's now got 7 home runs on the year. Botsy, by the way, leading the Texas League with his 9th and 10th home runs this year tonight. But anyway, that means that Wichita wins at 4-1, and we'll be Tulsa fans tomorrow because Tulsa will be a game bag. And if Frisco wins tomorrow and Tulsa wins tomorrow, then that means that Frisco will be 3 games back in the East with a little more than 30 games to play in the first half. Boy, this thing's going to go down to the wire, and it's going to be fun. Also, over there in the West, Round Rock and San Antonio doing battle. And it's San Antonio that shuts out Round Rock, a 4-hit shutout. And it's a final 4-0 in favor of San Antonio. Midland downs El Paso 9-4. Checking the big league scorecard for you in the American League tonight. Chicago is down Cleveland 4-2. Toronto getting past Minnesota 5-3. It's Boston beating Tampa Bay 7-3, and that ball game has just come to a close. That's the final. Tim Wakefield, the winner. He's now 3-2. Kansas City and Texas playing in the 9th, and the Kansas City Royals with 7 runs in the 5th and 6th innings, 3 runs in the 5th, 4 runs in the 6th. They have come back to take a 7-6 lead over Texas right now. That ball game in the bottom half of inning number 9 at the ballpark in Arlington. Top 4, Yankees and Anaheim scoreless right now. It's Detroit's defeating Oakland 2-0. That ball game's in the bottom half of inning number 5 in Oakland tonight. Baltimore over Seattle 3-1 in the top of the 4th. And these are finals in the National League. All of them have come to a close. Houston has hammered Florida 9-2. Milwaukee 3, Montreal 3, Milwaukee 2. Philadelphia has beaten L.A. 8-7. San Diego and Pittsburgh were postponed due to rain. Colorado down Cincinnati 8-3. It's the Mets beating St. Louis 5-4. Arizona shuts out Atlanta as Randy Johnson throws the first perfect game of the big leagues this year. And Randy goes to 4-4 with that win. Mike Hampton drops to 0-5 for the Bravos. And a 2-0 shutout perfect game for Randy Johnson and the Arizona Diamondbacks as Atlanta committed 3 errors on that ball game. And one other score, it's San Francisco in a pitcher's duel. One hitting the Cubs 1-0. Jason Smith, the winner there. He goes to 4-2. Matt Clement is now 5-3. That's going to do it tonight from Little Rock, Arkansas. Ray Winder Field. In Game 1 of this 4-game series, the Frisco RoughRiders have outlasted the Arkansas Travelers by an 8-3 score. Tomorrow night, Cameron Lowe goes to the mound to see if we can make it 4 in a row. It would match Frisco's longest winning streak of the season. From Ray Winder Field, my name is Scott Garner. For our engineer-producer back in the studio, Brandon Helms. Until tomorrow night, a 7:10 start tomorrow night. We're on the air at 6:40. Good night, everybody, and God bless.
You've been listening listening to Frisco RoughRiders Baseball on 1700 AM. KTVK, The Ticket. A presentation of Mandalay Baseball Properties, Southwest Sports Group, and the Frisco RoughRiders. KTVK, The Ticket. A Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket station.